I need to. I am live. Are we live? I don't know. We check the audio, I guess. Can somebody check the audio? I'm gonna check the audio.
I'm not seeing it.
Okay, you check it, because if it plays on my end, it's gonna
Oh
play.
yeah, we're live. I had to refresh.
Hey,
There we go. I had to refresh. There we go.
So.
But it's like, yeah.
Yeah. So this is supposed to be like a casual episode because I just want to test out the streaming. That's why it's like super ghetto. Because Anthony can't stream for the live of him. And what's the best casual drinking buddy than Tyler? So I got him on to do my test stream with me. Don't feel
hey,
so
buddy.
bad about it. What do you have? I have. Ooh.
I got the purple stuff.
You got the purple stuff?
Glenfiddich 15.
There you go. I always have the purple stuff. That's the thing.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. The Solera 15 from Glenfiddich.
Ooh,
For as far as scotches, like it's.
I don't know. Isn't that like expensive?
It can be. It's like, especially up here in Washington with all the taxes and stuff. But it's
like probably like $70.
Yeah, it's like 70.
Yeah. Okay, so it's around the same price.
Not horrible.
No,
yeah,
no,
it's
not at all.
I mean, especially as far as scotches go, it's not a horrible.
I think that's like the cheapest you can go with scotch and not have it taste awful.
Yeah, not have it be overly horrible. Yeah.
I mean, like for like the younger ones, like the 10 and 8s, like you can pay like $55 for, which is like fun, like which is fine.
Oh, you get like the Balvenie double. No, that's up to like $60-$70.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Anything Balvenie is like literally $68 at where I'm at.
I remember getting that for like even here. I remember like a couple of years ago, you could get it for like $40 to $50. For
oh no, not at all. Like not anymore.
Yeah, not even possible. Yeah. I'm trying to think. If there's any other good ones? Balvenie, but that's expensive now too.
Well, I mean, their double cast is the one that you should get, but then like. They're always expensive. They're like upwards of $112 or $120. They're double cast.
It is. Which is nuts. I mean, it's worth it for the price. For the.
I don't.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Whiskey's a weird one, man.
No. It isn't. But here's the thing, right? So like. I'm always like a few bottle at a time person. I'm never like 10 bottles unfinished because it annoys me. Like just having like.
You would hate my bar.
I know. Yeah. I will never have a bar because like sometimes I will feel like, okay, I'll drink this and I'll drink this for a few. Yeah, I can see it behind you.
4, 5. I think I got like 5 bottles just in this room.
Honestly, I think like 5 to 7 bottles is at most what I will always like. Get and that's it. I think anything like 10 to 12 bottles, that's way too much.
Downstairs in my little liquor cabinet, I have 50 plus bottles of bourbon, whiskey, bourbon, rye, scotch, some rums. I think I have a couple gins, but most of it's bourbons and rye.
I can't do that. First is like just because like makes me feel like an alcoholic.
Embrace it.
No, I can't. No. So, yeah. Go ahead.
I think I'm just a collector at heart. There's also that. Like, I have a somewhat of a, and I also love trying new things. So whenever I go to a store, it doesn't matter if it's alcohol to whatever, it doesn't, anything. I always try, like, I'll see something, if I haven't had it before, and I'll usually gravitate towards that more so than something I know is good sometimes. More often than not, just because I want to try a new thing. So that also probably plays into my that kind of building up of things, especially like and then I'm in a bunch of bourbon groups or whiskey groups on like Instagram and stuff. So then I see like the flavor of the month. I'm like, oh, I want to try that. So I'll go.
Oh my god, it's like the chai fi flavor month, but like whiskey.
With whiskey.
It sounds awful.
Like right now it's. Oh, dude, yeah, because it's like it is cheaper. Well, it is cheaper because it's like $50 to $100 for a bottle. But it's not because then you feel like you can buy more.
Right. No, it isn't at all. It's like
it's not. Because those bottles are way overpriced. Yeah.
Well, how about this? Like, let me ask you this, right? What's the most expensive bottle you have right
now? What I paid or what the MSRP
what you paid,
is?
not MSRP. Because like after
okay.
Because like Pappy is
because
like,
the aftermarket is stupid,
right, because Pappy is 125 MSRP, but like aftermarket
it's like
is
$2,000,
like $2,300. So of course aftermarket. So what's the expensive bottle you ever had? Like right now.
Most expensive bottle I've ever. Well, probably right now.
Right now.
Just currently, I own. Okay, that'd be the Stag Junior.
Okay, so that's like what 112.
They start their MSRP is 175, but I got mine for 100, 150, 150.
Right, 150, 112. What's the cheapest bottle you
have? Yellow corn. It's in that little thing back there. Yeah, mellow corn. It's so. You should look it up. Have you seen it? The mellow corn.
No, I don't drink bad.
Actually, we should get corn in here, and it would be perfect for him. But it's basically a yellow bottle with a plastic screw top, and it's called mellow corn.
And you don't drink that, right? And you don't drink that, right?
It's like one of those. It tastes like creamed corn to some level, but it's whiskey. Like it's all corn whiskey. It's like an all corn whiskey,
right?
And it's
right.
It's different. It's
so
definitely worth trying, and it's like $19. So
oh god, I
take that back.
The
cheapest bottle I have is this.
Like
I actually have it up here. And this used to be can only get it in Kentucky, but they actually expanded out. But it's JTS Brown.
Oh,
it's a Heaven Hill.
Before. So
it's not
a
14.
whiskey. It's not a whiskey. It's a mixed drink.
Bourbon.
Whiskey. Yeah.
It's a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
Right, but you don't
bottled in bond.
But you don't drink it straight. You use that as a in the mixer.
I would use it as a mixer personally. It's not my thing.
Those are with the plastic cap. Yeah, that's because when you put so much shit in it, you can't really taste like that good of a whiskey. So what's the point of having like a really good whiskey in your
whiskey in an old fashioned or a Sazerac or a
I don't
sour.
know, man. Like old fashions are weird because you can
those can be like I will make a good old fashioned with good whiskey because of the fact that you can make them with the flavor really comes through.
Have you ever had an old fashioned with like a really smoky Isla?
Ooh yeah, in Australia in Sydney, there's a whiskey bar in Sydney that I had and it was fantastic.
So my go-to old fashioned is actually Corn's favorite Isla is the Alblor, Ardbeg, the 10, that and
Ardbeg,
old fashioned, yeah, or like a very young Lagavulin. Those are very smoky as well. I feel like that's like a weird smoky old fashioned.
Have you done a smoked old fashioned? Like I wonder how gnarly it would be to do an Ardbeg 10 and then smoke it and have it.
Do you have one of those whiskey glass smoker? I think you do.
I don't. I'm more mostly because I don't know where I'd put it, but I do want one. There's this guy, he makes custom ones, and he takes like a slab of wood and he runs copper pipe through the wood, and it has a little smoker section where you hit a little button, it lights up, and then you light it, and it runs the smoke through the wood, and then there's a little glass. It's sick, dude. It looks so cool.
I mean, you could just do like a ghetto thing, just you know how you can buy these little pallets,
like everyone else.
I mean, no, I've seen it done at the bar before. They just use a little blowtorch, light the pallet up, and put the glass over it.
Yep, exactly, and that's what most people do. And you can do that. And I've also seen it where people will do it with paper bags, where they wrap it in a paper bag and then they smoke it that way.
That's ghetto.
They blow the smoke into the. Well, it helps because it keeps the paper bag will hold the smoke in there longer, and then you just open the and I think it's a trend thing.
But do you smoke the whole glass and not just the inside of the glass?
You smoke. I think you'd smoke the whole glass. That's how I would do it. But I know a lot of people will do. They'll make the old fashioned and then they smoke it and have it in there.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know. It's I don't know. You do it. I think it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, you're getting drunk. It's it's just the experience getting there, right?
Sure. That's why we drink $8 vodka bottom shelf, right? That's the point of
$1 gallon. The one gallon plastic
with the handle, with the plastic handle.
With the handle.
Oh, which one is?
And
mine?
It wobbles it kind of. You feel like it's gonna snap at any
point.
Okay,
so there's this $8 gallon handle of vodka.
What are you talking about? It's like Gilroy's or
yeah. It's it's got that Russian graphics on it, but it's actually made in Kansas or somewhere. It's made in the Midwest. but then like, it's got that Russian graphics on it, so like people think it's imported.
Yeah, it's like red and white. It's like plastic. It's like super flimsy plastic.
Exactly,
Dude. Like,
exactly. That's
like you wouldn't trust your milk in the bottle, kind of.
Yeah, that should be the drink that we should do. If all you just want to get drunk, right?
Yeah, if you want to just get, I mean, if that's your goal, yeah. I mean, just get the $8 plastic gallon and just.
Have you tried a trick to put those through your like Brita water filter to make it smoother?
Yeah, there's a bunch of people that got real hardcore into that. When I was in the military, it works, and I had a bunch of people that were like swore by it. I never really was. I'm like, really, just go buy the $20 Stolichnaya.
But it ruins your filter, which is great.
Yeah, it's like you've actually cost yourself more money.
So like the filter doesn't really last that long. So if you do that, the filter is like $2-3 or something like that. I don't know. Like they're expensive. Yeah. And then so you put your like $8 bottle like vodka through it. Then you just go like, oh, now it's like a $12 bottle of vodka.
Yeah.
Then at that point,
that much better.
No, it isn't. And at that point, you might as well just buy the $15 bottle of vodka for a gallon.
Yeah, right. Like it's bananas. I don't know, man. What's I'm trying to think. Like, what other ones would be? And rum is a go-to. Like I started getting back into rum for a little bit, but then I just can't do the sugars.
That's red.
Yeah, the sugars are.
Yeah, it's not. It's too sweet. No, it's.
Yeah, it's too sweet and like.
And you can't.
What's red?
Good rum here. Like it's hard to get good rum, and they're very expensive. And they're mostly.
Well, they're cheaper than whiskeys, though. Like for the top of the line rum, you can get is the price of like a mediocre whiskey.
Right, they're like $75, like 80-ish. But those are like usually you don't drink that straight, which is
There's some sippers.
No, I don't think I can. It's like syrup.
It is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's too sweet. Like I don't know anybody would drink that. That's like literally diabetes in a bottle if you drink.
Yeah, and it gets like and I used to, man. I used to love rum.
We can tell.
And I still do like the cocktails, but I just I think the same thing, man. Once you start going down a different path, it's like it's hard to go back to something,
I don't think so. I think like all the brown stuff is good, but then like for the most part, I'm so lazy about mixing my own drink.
That's why I like old fashions. I don't measure. I just dash, and throw some maple syrup in there, and throw the whiskey, and good.
This is why you have two ways of drinking. Like, there's two ingredients to whiskey. There's a glass, and then you pour it in the glass, and that's about it. And if you have to put anything out, maybe a drop of water. That's it.
Yeah, depending. But like when I'm making like a mixed drink, I don't ever measure. I'm one of those weirdos that. Like my wife will try something I have, or like a friend will be like... You don't have
that little glass that like turns both sides. Like one is like 1 ounce, one is like 2 ounces.
I have that. I just don't use it. I just pour until it tastes good to me, which usually means it's really strong, and I have two, and I
pre-make old fashioned. Just get like a gallon drum and just pour it in there. Just pre-mix.
I just squirt I just dash it into my mouth and then just take shots as I go.
There you go. Somebody clip that.
Well, yeah. One of the worst drunks I've ever had was that. Not that specifically, but I had Goldschlager and tequila, Jose Cuervo, and we were doing dares as young dumb people, and I chugged both at the same time, and that was probably the worst drunk I've ever been in my life.
I feel like I never get like worse drunk because like when I get to that point I'll just sleep, which is great. I don't do stupid stuff, I just go to sleep.
I think that's what I end up doing for that one. I remember being at the hot tub, and then I remember because I had a truck at the time with the canopy, and I had a whole like sleeping setup in the back, and I remember I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go lay down. And then my friends couldn't find me for hours, so I was passed out in the back of my truck.
Because you were dead.
I was dead. Yeah, I was dead to the world. Then my buddy ended up driving home, and I remember he was smashed, and we're driving on these back mountain roads. It was like cliffs on the side, and I remember waking up, and I'm like, what? And I crawled through my thing, so who's driving my truck? So I crawled through the little back window into the front seat, and and he's just sitting there, and he's in second gear, I want to say, but he didn't know how to drive stick, so he's like in second gear. I don't know how he got going. He's drunk as hell, and he's like pinned. The RPMs are just like, right. and I'm like, dude, shift. What are you doing? And then he's like, oh, I can't. And I look out the window, and there's like this like, I'm not sure if it was a coyote or what, or just a dog, but it was like running next to us, like looking at us, like, and then just kind of, like, I have this very vivid memory of this, and it was just like, oh, yeah.
Maybe you're just too drunk. Sorry, you're just imagining.
I probably was.
Yeah, you
winked at me. It's like, hey.
Good luck, Tyler.
I was really just passed out against the window, just licking it.
Pretty much.
Oh man.
All right. We're supposed to talk about audio.
I have these. I have these lovely things.
I know.
I've given them a pretty good
That's
listen.
what we're supposed to talk. Well, okay. So I'm not gonna make 3 videos on Helios. So give me your like your shortest impression. You have like, I don't know. We'll put like 15 minutes. We'll talk about the Helios for maybe like less than that.
They're big. They remind me of the Odin for size. Like, they're just big IEMs. They're not uncomfortable though. Surprisingly, I didn't have as much of a problem as I thought I was after initial putting them in. As far as comfort goes, they are big though. Let's see. At first, I was having a weird thing where I thought they were bass light at first, like with my first few tracks I was listening to. But as I was listening more and more, I was getting that sub bass where I'm like, whoa, these things, like, they kind of rumble, right? Like, they have this sub bass, but then it's weird. Like, it has like a cutoff. Like, it's like almost like it's so, I don't know. It's not like a sharp cutoff, but it feels like it's separated. Sharp. It's very controlled, and maybe that's why it's so weird to me. Like, why I didn't feel like there was bass in it, because maybe that's it. Because it was sharp. Like, it's like separated very well from the rest of it, and it accentuates more than like bleeds into, if that makes sense for me. My take on it, as far as the bass goes. But man, the vocals or the mids and uppers and the highs they really shine with these, man. Like, I was really impressed.
So you're gonna get
really like the detail. I'm thinking about it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to, because I haven't compared them with my Mest V1s or my lovely all-time favorites, my black and golds here. See if they don't fall out.
Is that your Andro? Your Andro gold black?
Andro golds.
Yeah, that's
come on,
awful.
Camera.
Awful.
Oh, come on. I'm trying to peek so it doesn't focus. Anyways, Andromeda golds.
It's funny because it does remind me of the Mest, except it just sounds like better. Like, yeah. Technical wise, I feel like that's what it is, because like Andro sounds like really unbalanced, and this sounds like very balanced.
And that's what I was kind of coming. My takeaway as well was like how balanced these were. They just sound so like they come together really well. Right, like I could easily, like, they're so easy to listen to without having any like problems. Does that mean, you know what I mean? Like I'm never taken away from my audio. Like it doesn't, like with the Empyrean, I get,
because like I know people that like don't want to harp on the fact that it's only 4 BA, but like now that, like, you know, if you don't tell people about it, they might not know. But like if you do, then people kind of still kind of pick it out, because like the BA timbre is kind of still there. I don't know, like it sounds very smooth, but then like I think the tuning is like way too over-tuned in a way that's like there's way too much sub bass. I know you, I think, because you're a boomer, right? So like you don't listen to a lot of music with like a lot of sub bass, right? So like
I do. I like my bass. I do like my bass, but I don't have a lot.
But like it's not like it's not like unnaturally elevated, like something that's already you know. So like if you're listening to like, let's say normal music, right? So like let's say like classical,
you wouldn't pick up on it.
Right. Well, you would, but then like you was like, oh, that's really good sub bass, right? You would pick up like all the bigger instruments, like horns and whatever. Like it would go that low. But then like if you listen to like electronic music, like when the sub bass is already like purposely elevated, and then you elevate it again by another 12 dB, then it gets like really stands out. Which is kind of why like I think it's overtuned in a way that, you know, depends on what kind of music you listen to. Funny enough,
music you like,
you know.
And yeah, I can see that. And I would still say, of the IEMs I've heard in my time of listening to IEMs, It's one of the better ones for sure.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, I think
for the
if
price,
I was
yeah,
for
exactly.
the price especially. But yeah, I could see. I mean, I don't want to be like an anti-IEM guy, but I always feel like, I mean, you're trying to make something sound so fantastic in this thing that's
Right,
like so
exactly.
tiny,
Like
right?
physics, like you're trying to like fight with physics, which is kind of hard, right?
And so like, and you know this, like coming in
Yeah.
from speakers, like, so I've gotten like, it's so funny even coming from like it. There's a definitive like delineation of like performance kind of deal. Am I
I
using that
think,
word right?
yeah,
Probably not.
obviously, yeah, because like something is so small, it has to. But like, okay, here's the thing, right? And you are gonna disagree with me because you are obviously a headphone guy. I headphones. I don't think headphone. It's like the cucked in between form factor of IEM and speakers.
Yeah, to some level, right? Like I think, no, I can see that. I can see. I
When
mean, you
was
can
the
say the
last
same thing
time
about
that you
IEMs.
take your nice purple ZMF outside of the house and walk?
Oh, I wouldn't do that with these. I mean, I did before. I used to take them to, like coffee shops and stuff like that, but I had like a little carrying case. But I mean, I wouldn't like walk around with them. Like they're not like
When was
something
the
I
last
would.
time you walked on a sidewalk with your ZMF and your
Yeah,
like fucking stack in your pocket?
with my cart behind me that I'm
Yeah,
pulling with the batteries, the
yeah,
car batteries,
yeah.
and yeah, that doesn't happen. But see, here's another thing. But I could talk about the IEMs the same way in the sense that I have like the AirPods Pro, right? And there's something to be said about ease of use, right? Like, or good enough, I should say, good enough. When I'm out and about, I'm not really listening critically, so it's I'm trying to have that problem with myself where if I'm out and about, like listening critically or listening to things where I want to get proper enjoyment, it's rarer and rarer for me to be in a place
Oh yeah,
where
yeah,
I would
definitely.
need, like adapt and this, like maybe if I was traveling on vacation and I was like, on a cliff overlooking a sunset over the ocean or something, and I wanted to have like an amazing, audio time
You
too.
mean
Sure,
you don't
that's
have you wouldn't have your ZMF headphones with a AK DAP and a separate amplifier and a Japanese boutique amplifier with that?
and the KN, what's that giant new
Oh
KN?
no, you can't have it be Chinese. Come on, man, that's like low quality. But like I'm saying that like yes, but like people like nice things, right?
Yes. And so here, and that's the one, and so I obviously am a unique use case in the sense that when I want to listen, I want to be able to listen in usually in isolation of some sort because these are naturally an isolating thing. Um, but it's like and I don't know, like it's good enough for me has been really a thing, and then also the ease of use of just not having the cable when I'm walking around has been huge. So it's like I've been seeing dwindling value for myself with the IEM world in
Oh
that
yeah,
sense.
obviously, because you never really like you know started with that kind of stuff, right? Because I don't have any IEM
Yeah,
either. Like I don't right now because I don't travel. Period. And
I don't travel either, and I don't go to an office to work, so it's like that's another limitation. So if
right,
I'm gonna have the option between IEM headphones or speakers, you could probably figure out the priority.
right. So
um,
you got KEF in your or KEF if you want to pronounce it.
yeah, I have them
Uh,
right. Actually, they're on the other side of me right now.
you recently got them. Did you get those?
LS50s.
Oh yeah, yeah. I heard. Did your mom bought it for you? Probably didn't get
Yeah,
that.
it's pretty amazing.
Oh wow! I wish my mom loves me enough that she buys me some LS50s because like yeah. I cannot disassociate that those pairs of speakers with a certain person who I shall also not mention. Did you get a subwoofer for them? Did you get the subwoofer for them?
I was going to,
Uh-huh.
but now that I have them in near
They're quite
field,
expensive.
they're really expensive.
The
Yeah, it's
subwoofers are
almost
so
they're
expensive.
more
Yeah.
they're more expensive than the speaker,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
subwoofer.
yeah. That's I feel like that's how, like that's how it is. Like a subwoofer is supposed to cost you just about the same price as the speakers, which is ridiculous,
Which
right?
it is ridiculous. I mean, I was looking at like the KEF. I wanted to have it keep it in the family and all that stuff, but then at the same
Uh-huh,
time, I was
uh-huh.
just like, do I care enough for that sub bass, and when will I be able to use it, and that kind of thing. So, and then honestly, once I put them in near field, like, so I have them in near field right now, and I haven't really had the desire to have the bass. It would be nice to have that rumble, but
no. You need it. I think you have big speakers in the living room.
I'm convincing myself that I don't need it.
No. Like how about this? Like, you have big speakers in the living room. Right? What are those?
Yeah.
Those are giant. Like,
those are Corn Scalas. So they have a 15-inch woofer, and then a 4-inch horn.
So like a two-way.
Two-way.
It's passive, right?
They're passive, and then they have, so they're basically they're kind of like a modeled somewhat after the JBL 43 somethings, but that's like the corn. Yeah, and so like they're just massive. So, and then it's really cool because they're a DIY kit, and so you can take the back off, and I can actually change where the crossover's at and everything. So that's pretty cool. So I can change that. And I was messing with I have a little BBE matrix, and I just cranked the bass on that, and it was like, like house rumbling that, man. Like I was like, oh, this will be too big of a difference, but it was like, it really
It's a 15-inch full. What's the crossover that you set right now?
I want it. It's Justin set it for me, so I have to ask him. I didn't really mess with it
because it's kind of weird, right? Because like you can't really have like, the point is that for the woofer you either have like good extension or good full range, right? It doesn't like go that way.
Yeah.
So like that's why I'm always like a big like proponent of like 3-ways. Because like
having that,
because like 2-way is like kind of annoying because like it's kind of hard.
You'd almost need a sub just to have it be
right. Like you having a sub makes it a 3-way, right? So you have a sub and you have a woofer and then you have a tweeter. Because like the tweeter doesn't really cover that big of a range. It's just it does. For depends on what kind of tweeter that you have, but
yeah. I agree. I could see that being a thing, and I know that these are balanced. These are set to be a more balanced signature, so that's why like it's not super bassy, and so they're nice. They're very loud, especially at low volumes. I was really impressed at that, like how well they performed at low volume.
I think you should get the Kef. I mean, like, I don't like sealed subwoofers, but I think that's all they make. So like that's like, because I was talking to Anthony like off stream about it. He linked me the Kef. But it's like a 2 7.5-inch woofers that's sealed. That's like a push pull thing kind of thing. So it's kind of so it's like kind of small, compact too, and you can just kind of tuck it away somewhere else, which is kind of cool.
I think it's even smaller than I think than one speaker.
Yeah. Because like everything, because it's like
a tube.
Yeah, it's passive, right? And nothing is built in. It's just the two thing, and then like it's like a tube, and then 2 speakers on each side, like push pulling the air.
Just
right.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big fan of passive speakers, so there's that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one more thing you have to think about, right? Like
and I feel like I don't think that people, I think like if you design
people don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, no. I don't think people. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think I don't like pretend like I know what I'm doing. So if you're gonna ask me that, should I buy an amp that fit? Like, do I know better? What amp is better for my speakers than the designer of these speakers? No, I don't think so. That's ridiculous, right? Yeah. So like one of the things that I watch is like when it's like on the headphone show, I think when Resolve talking to the guy that makes the head speakers, right? And the guy goes like, so we think that active speakers are the thing to go because we design these amps for the speakers in whatever his German accent, and I'm like, that makes complete sense, right? Because like, how dare you? Who the fuck do you think you are, to think like I'm gonna buy these amps for these speakers, and I know because the fucking manufacturer does not know better, and these should be like Well,
a pretty example of that would be the Focal. So the Focal Arch. I was just talking to Grover about Neville about it on the last thing I did, and I'm not a big fan of that with other headphones. but you throw a Utopia,
Right.
Stellia,
Right.
it's like what? Like it just sounds fantastic.
Yeah, because it's designed
And
for
it's
it, right?
because it's made for those headphones specifically. And I think and like you just said, like that nails it on the head. Like it doesn't sound great with other headphones, but it sounds fantastic with very specific headphones. And that's where I agree with you. Like I think that I'm gonna trust the designer, until I don't.
I mean, like, I'm not an engineer. I think like for like big
Yeah.
brands, like it's kind of easy to like like if you buy Focals, you can buy. They have like passive speakers and they have like active speakers. If I buy Focal, I'm pretty okay with like just having the active, just because like I don't really need to think about like there's also like a lot of things to think about, like, and also it's more expensive too. It's way more expensive.
Oh yeah, and there, I mean, like Ant mentions too, is like sometimes manufacturers will cheap out. That's for sure, 100%. And that's where I say like kind of the caveat of I'll trust them until I don't kind of deal. But I'm also lazy, like I only have so much time in a day to tinker. And,
yeah. It's so much work. Passive is so much work.
Yeah, I just want to turn something on. Like when I want to listen to music, I want to listen to music. I don't want to sit and mess with an EQ profile. I don't want to have to dig around with different things, and I don't know, but that's my take on it for that kind of stuff. So yeah, generally I will take the path of least resistance to my enjoyment.
Yeah, except you have two passive speakers, so there's that problem.
Except I do have two passive, but I'm using the Name Unity Nova right now with it, and I don't think about them. And those things are so freaking like I can use basically a tube amp can power those. It's crazy for how big they are. They only need like some stupid low amount of power to get those to perform at high performance. So, but yes, you're right. I do have things that technically, if I wanted to, I could go super deep and be crazy with it.
Oh, Anthony, you're fucking us up. Anthony, you're fucking us up. I need you to leave.
Do it, hey buddy.
No, like he's he's fucking up our OBS.
Hello.
What do you? So should I redo my OBS? I think I need to redo my OBS, huh?
I'm only gonna stay for a few minutes. Don't worry.
Oh, but then
Hey,
you were
buddy.
fucking up our webcam though.
Wait,
so that's
I'm over
the
here.
problem. So
I'm over here.
Okay, there you go. Is that no? He gets like a full half a screen, and then like we go. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, we got.
Well,
Ant is
there you
the
go.
king.
There you go.
Ant is king.
There you go.
Hey there.
Okay,
Let's go, buddy.
so there's a since Anthony's here, there's a guy that's asked a question. What do you think of Utopia versus ZMF? I think that's like a Tyler question.
So I think for me, I prefer the ZMF Verite Opens over the.
Oh no, how about
Utopias.
this? I'm gonna give you a better one because you have the Stellia and the closed, right? So which one do you prefer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that the Stellia is easier to live with for most people, I would say, but I personally prefer the Verite closed.
Okay.
So they're my top two favorite closed backs.
And they're the same price, right? Because like just to
roughly, yeah.
Right. And
They're about
okay,
the
how
same
about this?
price.
The Utopia and the Verite's Open, because they're the same price too, right?
Yeah, technically, I think Utopia is much more expensive, but I mean, obviously, you can find deals and everything like that. But I personally find the Utopia to be somewhat, it's technically superior, I would say. But as far as enjoyment of what I'm listening to, I get more enjoyment with Verite
Just say it.
Opens.
Just say it, Tyler. You hate the French.
No, I really love the
You
full
hate the
cows are
French.
the two.
You hate the French.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually did not like. I had a girlfriend in high school, and there was this French exchange student that kept trying to steal her away from me for like a year, and it never worked.
You hate
Dude
the French.
constantly tried, and so I remember having a very strong bias against.
Okay,
For a very long
you
time.
can't be racist. I'm gonna be super racist, right? I don't like the French. I was in Paris for three months student teaching. Like, no, that is not that is not the way to go. Like, literally, being the English speaker, being an English only speaker in Paris is not
fun.
Not the way to do. Like, because you can't please them unless you're a native like French speaker. you can't please them. Like they're just like, oh, you know, what are you saying? The stupid Americans. Oh my fuck you guys. But no, I have Focal speakers, but
Yep, I love Focal. Focal is my second favorite headphone company.
Second favorite after ZMF.
Yeah. So I think that, and then, well, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. You go. I was
I was gonna say after that, it's probably it's gonna probably speak to what I like, but my next favorite headphone company would probably be Rosin Audio for the Rad Zeros.
Oh god.
I think.
Oh god.
Because I like unique things. I like things that are, you know.
Wait, Anthony, what are you doing here? Get the fuck out of here.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
You're fucking our stream up with your thing, and you don't even say anything.
I can't speak if you guys won't shut up.
Well, what are you? I asked you if you want to hang out before the stream, then you say shit. So I now you're fucking my OBS. This is the grand plan, right? I'm trying to stream for myself, and then he comes in to just sort of ruin my first stream with his little fucking whatever thing. So either you fuck off right now, or you stay and I redo the whole UI thingy. Okay. So take your.
Are you drinking right now? Ant, what are you drinking?
Also, he has no webcam, so we can't see him drunk.
Oh,
Anthony, get out of here. Anthony, get the fuck out of here. There you go. All right, back to this.
But Ant, man, I love Ant.
But
I was just having.
I asked him if he wants to be on the stream, and he didn't say shit, and I was like, okay, oh, I guess I'll do. No, okay. Now,
I just had lunch with Ant just yesterday.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure he's great company.
He is a good dude. Always enjoy.
You just talked to him for like 20 minutes, and you just realized he wasn't paying attention. He was like, oh, what time? Yeah.
He probably doesn't. He's probably like this, please.
He's like,
He
what?
doesn't even know what measurements are.
Okay, so let me ask you this, right? So, fucking, I got a little win of Low Birdie telling me that, Headphones.com is doing ADX 5000 again, which will, like, again, like, going back to our, like, old conversation, remember, like, back in, like, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, way back.
Yeah, way back a year and a half ago, I talked about the ADX 5000, which is, like, my favorite headphones. And now that Headphones.com is carrying them, and they're sending the demo units around, so when are you and Anthony's going to get them? That is my question.
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
That's a good question.
Because right now, it's
I want to hear them. I do want to hear them.
I think you should. And then you'll be, like, very disappointed.
Are they worse than
your other headphones? You'd be like, where has this been all my life? Do you remember the time that you
just rub it on myself?
No. Like, do you remember the time that you met your wife, like the first time? And it's like love at first sight, right? It's like where, and you go like, where have you been all my life?
Sure. That's what I'm gonna get.
Yes. It's gonna be your headphone wife.
My headphone wife. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, because I hear it's basically brighter than the HD800, which I don't mind the HD800.
It isn't.
I actually like the HD800.
It isn't.
But it isn't. Okay. But it's,
I mean, like, it's
I
not
hear
brighter.
it's technically...
Oh.
Is it technically better than the HD800, though, as far as, like...
I think so.
I think I'd like it. Man,
it's HD800 uncocked.
You can't do that when I'm drinking whiskey, man.
It's HD800 uncocked. Like, it just sounds better. Okay.
Sounds better.
You've been to, like, headphone meet, right?
I've been to lots, yeah.
Yeah. So like, what's the most common headphone that you see in the headphone meets? You know what I'm getting at.
Most common.
Headphones.
Yeah, probably the HD 600, 650.
Wait, really? Not 800s?
HD8. I'd say HD800s.
Probably
they'll also...
You go to the headphones meet with poor people. You need to go to, like, the boomer headphone meets. Like the really hipster.
So... Yeah, like the HD800 is always there too, but like I'd say probably the most prevalent would be those. But then you know what's funny is nowadays ZMF's been pretty popular. I usually see those all the time now too.
I'm so curious because I haven't seen them in China yet. I think it doesn't sell like.
I wonder.
You should ask them about it. I'm kind of curious just because like. Okay, so
like how would it do to cross over to that market?
It's kind of hard because Chinese people are so biased against brands. Like they want like to buy like big brand, and Sennheiser is such a big brand, right? So like they love like HD800. Well, so
And
does everybody
ZMFs,
else.
like it's a baby. I mean, they're a baby in
Well,
that
they're,
world,
like,
right? Like they've
pretty
only been
small
around
scale.
for less than 10
I don't
years.
think
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, look at that. I mean, how would they not want? Like, look how pretty that is. That's
Yeah, except you don't get to
rose
look at
gold.
it. Yeah, sure.
So pretty.
Except that, you don't really get to look at them.
I always have my webcam on when I'm listeing to music, so I'm
okay.
always
Is
looking
that
at
like
myself. I don't-
well, not narcissistic at all, right? Just a mirror in front of yourself.
Just a mirror.
It's
just
I'm so
naked,
pretty,
just
man, yeah. Hey, I gave you the option to now wear a shirt for this live stream, and then we would get a lot more viewers if you didn't have a shirt on. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they'd run screaming from my Sasquatch body.
I don't think so. People like the hair, man. It's kind of nice. It's kind of like an extra layer.
I mean, yeah, it's true. Especially in the wintertime, you
okay.
get that extra heat.
So what I'm getting at is, I feel like it's a lot. It has a lot less, or not a lot less. It has a little bit less technicality compared to the 800s. But then like the timbre,
It's wider stage though.
right? The timbre and the treble peak like on the ADX 5000 is a lot better. So like, let me paint you a picture, right? You go to an audio meet, you walk in, it smells like old people. It's like a bingo. Everybody have their 5-layer stacks of preamp, 2 preamp, DAC, tube amp stacked right on top of each other, right?
Yeah.
And then the room is like literally they have the AC on full blast because all these tube amps are burning.
Hot as hell.
I know. And everybody
Blazing.
with their $10,000 tube amp setup has a HD 800 on it, and they look at and they hand you their favorite headphone, and they say, Tyler,
You know why?
And Tyler, listen to these. I have fixed the HD 800.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, I have fixed it. Yeah, I mean, this is this. They're amazing. Oh man, you're not wrong. I was gonna say something. It was gonna be. I was thinking of something funny, but now I've completely whipped. God. No,
Because it's so
I think
true.
also,
Right?
like,
It's not. I'm not.
It's
like,
true. And I had this epiphany when you were saying that, by the way. That's I recall. So I think the reason they love them so much is because they're so airy. It keeps their head cold while they have to sit in this sweltering room full of tubes.
Yeah, but like it
So they
doesn't
need-
like
They need that.
they have this like need to fix the transducer where in itself the driver is just cucked. Like it
I
is.
think that's
It's a great headphone.
everything, though, man. It is a great headphone, but there's problems with it. I mean, I think there's a lot of things, though, man. I think if you look at the hobby, like in general, right? Everyone's always like,
Right.
you know, without the right SD card, this won't sound good. So I mean, you have
No,
those
but
types
like,
of things.
you understand that like the HD 800 with tube amp thing has always been like a big thing. Right?
Oh, it's always been a thing.
Right. You can't get away from it. Right.
You can't. Well, that's because if you put an HD100 on a solid state, it's going to become this bright, murdery thing.
But like
you need the tubes to get it to like.
Right, and you said it earlier, like path of least resistance, right? And those people don't.
Yeah.
Like they like to do the hard things, right? You want to fix. You want to fix the hard thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think there's some part of that. Sometimes there is a joy in that where you'll hear something.
No, there isn't. No, it's just pain.
And well,
you just like masochists. Like you just like to fix something that's broken.
I mean, there's that too. I mean, there's lots of Captain Save-A-Hos out there, man.
You
So
like
I mean,
to,
there's
you like
that
to get stepped
too.
on
Like,
by that 6,000 hertz peak of the HD 100. It's oh, please step on me, stab my eardrums.
I have the SDR in mine.
No, it
so
doesn't.
the
It
SDR
doesn't change
mod,
it that much.
and then I have which Ant hates. I actually have the Dakoni pads on mine, and Ant was like,
Dakoni likes
so it
to
does
fuck
make a-
up stuff, man. Dakoni is just like
Yeah,
a screw up. I don't know why anybody.
Get some wonk, but
Dakoni.
I had
okay.
them.
New slogan for Dakoni, okay, and they can use it free of charge, all right? Dakoni, when you can't afford stock Utopia pads. Because they're $300 a pair.
And you don't mind an FFR.
Dakoni, when you're so poor, but you have Utopia. When you
You have no
my neighbor
when you have no other option.
my neighbor my neighbor bought a new BMW. I think he bought the performance one.
Is the new they're kind of weird looking on the I'm still
not the coupe,
sure
not the coupe, the sedan, the I4. I want to say
I3.
No, M4,
yeah.
M4. He bought the M4.
M4.
It's been on a jack for about like I want to say 2.5 weeks now, because he fucked up his rear axle and he can't afford to replace it.
See what? If you're gonna buy a thing, don't buy something that's cool but you can't afford. Come on.
So here's the thing. Here's the equivalent, right? You heard that Utopia is the best headphone ever known to man, and you bought
you get a deal,
and you got it for a deal. You bought a used pair of Utopia,
$1,800
for 1,200. Let's say for 1,200, no pads. And you look online, holy shit, the pads are fucking
$1,200.
The pads are $300. So now that your Utopia with smelly pads, so either you live with these pair of Utopias,
or there's no leather, there's just it's just foam.
It's just like foam. So now that you're like come to this crossroad, right? Now you spend like $1,200 on this pair of used Utopia, right? And you just look on their website. So do I buy the Utopia's pad or do I buy this Deconi $30 pad
for $100?
100. Oh, really?
I think they're like $100, man.
Serious?
Yeah, their prices. I think the Deconi Focal pads are like $100.
Ouch, that's ridiculous. I
want to say they're like $100.
I would never do that. Why would you ever do that to yourself? Okay, fine. You buy the Deconi pads for like a third of the price, and you put on like, wow, these headphones does not sound like what they're supposed to. Well, like, wow, really, huh?
Everyone's wrong about these.
I don't know why they're so like hyped on the Utopia. They sounds awful. I have these on my Deconi pads. I'm like, yeah, there's your problem right there.
I mean, literally every Deconi pad, and then they're usually very comfortable. They're very materials are nice.
Obviously, we're not sponsored by Deconi.
No. Yeah, I'm probably gonna, but I mean, I actually do like Deconi stuff, like in the sense that they're very comfortable. The price performance is decent, but they do tend to jack up the FR.
Price to performance. What performance? They literally post their own graph. And they all look so different. Like, I'm like, why would you ever do that to yourself? Again, I'm going back to the idea that you think that you know pads better than the manufacturer.
Yeah, there's that too.
Right?
But I see, like, I have them. Like, they're on, like, literally Android has the ones, the Deconi pads on the HC100. They're the hybrid, so they have, like, the soft. And they do change the sound, right? But it's not enough for me to take that little plastic tool and like pop the dang things off and put the originals on.
Yeah, it is. No, you're not. Okay. Going back to my original topic of the HC100. Okay. I was okay. I had a conversation with a person like who shall remain nameless when I was still in retirement. Okay. And he's a weeaboo, right? And obviously I am as well. I'm a massive weeb. And he's like, hey,
Okay. You're not.
I am not a weeaboo. No.
You're a tourist. You're a weeb tourist. I know it.
Yeah.
You're just visiting.
But he was like, okay, so I'm looking for the most weeaboo headphones. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be the ADX 5000, right? And then he goes like, okay. And he's like, well, I can't demo them. Obviously, you can't because he's in like somewhere in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, oh well, whatever. So my thing is like, he's like, what do you have to try? He's like, okay, try Utopia and the HD800. I'm like, okay, go try the HD800. If you like that signature and you don't mind the treble as much, if you like that general signature, you can buy the ADX 5000. And that's my recommendation for everybody because I am the strong believer of the ADX 5000 is a uncut version. Giving up a little bit of technicality is uncut of HD800. You run that, and my favorite setup is that you run off of a HPA4 SSD amp.
HPA4.
Yes, the benchmark. You run it off the big ass benchmark amp. It's all solid state, like RME benchmark amp into ADX 5000. It will sound better than your triple stack warm as fuck piece of shit AD. Like
HC800 with a bottle head crack.
Oh God, that sounds awful. But like, okay, but the moral of the story is like he said, okay, he went and tried the HC800, right? He came up to me, he slaps me in the face. He goes like, I don't think the ADX5000 is similar to HD800 because on the graph, I'm like, he says graph, and I'm like, click, block. I'm like, I am not having this conversation ever again.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's the part that I think really, yeah.
I don't hate graphs. I don't hate graphs, okay?
I don't hate graphs either.
I am of the approach. I am of the approach of good enough.
Yeah, good enough, exactly. And honestly, like a graph, like I look at a graph and I go, okay, does it follow the Android,
Well, most headphones are
range?
flat. Most headphones are flat. Right?
Yeah.
So most headphones are flat, and then it has a gain for the ear gain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how most headphones are measured. Aside from the very weird ones, like the TH909, that sounds weird because it has a bass boost, right? So most headphones are flat.
Bass boost, yeah.
So even if you look...
Or Cascades.
Right. So even if you look at the Hi-Fi Man HE6, the original Hi-Fi Man HE6, that's supposed to have like massive slam and bass and sub bass. You don't see it on the graph. Just because it's not about the graph. Mm-hmm. Because that does not measure like, timbre.
We won't measure that. Mm-hmm.
And
we'll measure it again.
You need to do like a waterfall, but then like that's more things to see to not like there's too much work.
And no one knows how to read that. No one knows.
Nobody knows how to read graph anyways. Like I don't know why. Like I am the.
No one knows how to read that part.
Right? No, I am like no. Unless you're like fucking Resolve. Like go love the guy. Right? Then I am the opinion of good enough. When I say neutral, then it's neutral enough. Right?
Yeah.
When I say Focal Utopia is like V-shaped, not really V-shaped, it's like neutral with bass, then it's neutral enough, right?
Yeah.
So like...
Because it doesn't really have, it's more that it's punchy bass, but it's not really bassy.
No, it's not. It's just like, it has bass quality.
It's
yeah.
Yeah, it's like that like it's getting punched in the face or punched in the ear.
It's neutral enough. I am the opinion of like good enough when it comes to headphones, right? Because like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not... it's too much. People too obsessed over it. I can't even.
I agree, especially the frequency range. Like, especially the people that get me the worst. That I can't grasp the concept of how they got to this point where they can feel this way.
I just can't grasp
the people that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
They don't hear the thing.
Right.
They've never heard the thing. But to look at a frequency response and be like, "Oh, that sucks," or "That's amazing," and you're like. But you don't know. Like, it could have the worst comfort in the world. It could be, like, there's all these other factors. But on top of that, it actually could sound like hot doo-doo, or it could sound fantastic, and you wouldn't even know, because you're looking at who knows who made that frequency response? Who knows, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's, like, that's another factor. Like, I think that people don't really, I get it. Everything will measure the same off somewhat, right? But at the same time, like, you don't know I don't know. To me, like, unless if it's scientific, or if it's an engineer that has no biases or has no, and it's like a dedicated, always the same thing, then sure, like you go to that person because you know that they have a standard or a set standard.
Well, I mean, like,
but if it's just some random graph, like I'm not gonna.
Even if you have the same person measuring the same thing, right? It doesn't really like in a way that I think people put too much weight on the measurement. Oh, that just because both of us are like stupid. That's the other thing.
Yeah, I'm ignorant to it. I agree. Like I
mean, like we're not okay. If people like wondering,
I like pretty things that are purple.
The reason why I couldn't get Resolve on the show because he hates me. Just because I was so stupid. He's like, no, I will bring the average down. We will be half of Resolve. If Resolve is if you're not on a show, if Resolve's on a show instead of you, the intelligence level of this show will be half of Resolve because I just literally bring the average down to like half.
you 0.5'd it, multiplied.
0.5 it. But no, like I feel like, and I'm not gonna say that graphing isn't important, but like when you haven't heard it, I think like I am of the opinion that it's good enough. Like,
yeah, I'm with you.
Most open back headphones are not bad sounding.
Mm-mm.
Okay, how about this? Most expensive open back headphones are not
Most
bad
expensive,
sounding.
yeah.
Yeah. Like closed back, they
the
sound awful.
Yeah, there's some like until you get honestly the
Like
best
the Stelia,
until you get
the
into like the
Stelia
Stelia.
is awful sounding. Any close like okay, if you have a dynamic driver, and if you have open back and it's over $1,000, it's very okay sounding. You would be hard pressed to like buy something that's bad.
So here's the thing, like closed backs, like to give you that hampering, like that handicap. It's you know that a closed back is good when people are like, oh, this sounds like an open back.
But most closed back are not like all closed, like right. So you have to.
No, they usually have vents of some
Yeah.
sort, or
Most
they
of them
have
like giant
like
vents. They're like semi-closed and
have
semi-open.
Yeah, it's always semi-open. I've yet to see even the THX.
Right. That's
even
what I'm
the
getting at.
TH
The TH
900.
They're like semi-open. I mean, they're semi-closed.
Yeah, they have a
and then the name, and the name, the 909, the TH 909, which is also like they're semi-open too. Like they're not like fully open. Like you're just like having Fostex making the two in between. But no, I think if you buy a a current $1,000 or even $500, like if you buy the HD 660S,
I think 500 and above,
right?
Even some of the $300 ones, you're like,
then they can get real weird, like the ATX R70X, which is like, wow, why would you ever do that to yourself?
I mean, to be fair. But no, the infinite scaling HD6XX. It's infinite.
Boomer.
It's infinite.
No,
it's unscalable. It's one of those. It just goes forever.
Right.
That's
why people.
Headphone.
That's why. Don't you love it when Reddit preached the fact that it's infinite scaling, but they also run it off of their $200 DAC amp? I was like, what happened to your infinite scaling?
Nothing.
Why did you ever?
Yeah.
Where's your HPA4?
Where's your Bakun? Where's your Bakun?
Yeah. Where's your fucking $4,000 amp and DAC, man? Why would you use that on you're all about infinite scaling, but they're also when they're about infinite scaling, they're also about amp and DAC does not matter.
Yeah.
You know, which is so much for that scaling, right? But no, let's not shit on Reddit. Reddit's great. I don't go on Reddit at all. Oh, okay. What I'm getting at.
I don't go on Reddit either, dude.
I believe that 660S is the cheapest headphones that people should buy.
I could say that. Yeah, I can see that.
If you want to buy, like, want to spend a little bit more money, I think the Focal Elex is pretty good.
Yeah, the Elex is honestly, that was one of my favorites for what it was. But it's basically a better Elir at the end of the day.
Right. Because the Elir is closed.
It's one of the... Is the Elir closed?
Yeah, the Elir's closed. Clear is open. So it goes...
Clear is open.
Because it goes like, the cheapest is Elex, Clear, Utopia, right? And then it's Elir...
Yeah, well, because Elir is discontinued.
It's
right?
Elir, Elysier, and then...
Elysia. Elysia's closed back. Elysia's closed back.
And then Radiant, and then...
The Radiant.
And then Utopia.
They had the Stelia, but then there's the Radiance. The Radiance, the Celeste,
which is the clear version of closed back.
Elysia is closed, and then Elir is open.
They sound so awful. I don't even know why would you ever...
I like the Elysia. Elysia was good for what it was. I wore that thing so much, that it like actually wore off like the Focal.
The HD, the Focal Stelia to Focal Stelia is what HD 220 is to the HD 800.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes,
I would say Stelia is better. But see, I like the HD 820 though, man. Like I was one of the people that. So no, it's weird. Like it was literally the first few weeks. I was like, "This is effed. There's something wrong with it." And then all of a sudden, I got the seal right. And I got the. And once I got the seal, the seal matters with that one. And then it hit me like what it was doing. But
Tyler, I'm not gonna shave my head to listen to the HD 820. Okay, Tyler. You
have to be bald. You have to. You have to have a whatever size diameter head with such and such cheek width. No, but I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where I can see why people would love those things, and I can see why it's a small number.
No.
Well, because it's a very small number of the people where that would actually fit your head.
They're stupid. No, they're stupid. They're just idiots.
But they're gorgeous, man. The
don't care.
HDA20 looks fantastic.
I mean, it's technology. Why do you care if it looks good?
Because that's what humans do, man. We look at things. Like you're not gonna go look at
don't look at
anime.
Headphones, like
anime. You're not gonna look at an anime and be like, oh, it's drawn with stick figures. I love this anime. No, you're gonna be like, that's garbage. Why would I watch this?
Okay, so the utility that you get out of your headphones is not looking at them; it's to listen to them, right? Well, obviously, if your utility is posting on Headfiles and get a lot of likes, then the utilities are. That's why ZMF is so popular.
I'm a photographer. Let's do this. Oh yeah.
Look, they're so pretty.
So pretty. And then I got the angry goose.
And he can't hear me right now, but those literally have like fucking Chi-Fi drivers on them. I don't know how you pay $3,000 for headphones with Chi-Fi drivers. As I was saying, I love ZMF.
They're open back,
motherfucker.
See, Pete for Futhead is like, can you justify spending $1,000 on a seatbelt headphone?
I don't. You know why? Because those are Tiffany drivers, and they're Chi-Fi. Okay, how about this? Dude. I am of the opinion, if I want to spend big money, and big money for me is different from big, because Tyler's baller, as you can see from the background. I have waifus on the background, and he's got like tons of shit. All right, so. I'm the opinion that I will not spend upwards of $2,000 if the company itself does not make their own drivers. I am limited to Focal, Sennheiser, Audio-Technica, Fostech.
Yeah, you're pretty limited. You've really shoehorned yourself into the weeb market.
No, it's not the weeb market. I'm just saying there's still good. Like I can still buy the Utopia.
No, you can. No, I'm messing with you. So. To bring it to whiskey, so like this guy's kind of like the flavor of the month right now for whiskeys.
Oh, does he mix his
Smoke
own whiskey?
Wagon?
Is it a blend?
MGP.
It's a blend, right?
It's an MGP. MGP, yeah. So he buys it from MGP, which is and then he blends it to his tasting.
Nope.
And
disgusting.
That's good. And
disgusting. Okay.
But it's the hot.
Here's the thing: when you have whiskey, okay. Let's not say whatever that bottle you hold up, right? Okay, let's say the gold standard of mixed whiskey, Johnny Walker Blue.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Johnny Walker is
gold standard. Anybody can go. You have $200 right now. Go, and you will be the most mediocre $200 bottle of whiskey you will ever had, and that's my opinion, and it's correct, right? But that does not, discount the fact that it's the most popular high-end whiskey in the world.
Yeah,
right? Johnny
it
Walker
really is.
Okay,
I mean, I have stock in the company, so I mean.
Right. So, is it good? No. So what do you get out of when you take? And I'm gonna go back to the headphone thing with this thing, right? All right. So what do you enjoy out of a whiskey? The time that it spends in a barrel, the artisanship, the craftsmanship, and just people pouring shit in their bottle.
See, I like the craftsmanship. Like if it's
so
even like this one.
No.
So even this guy, this guy. So, but it's him mixing it. So it's him taking the 4 to 5, 7 to 9 to 10.
It's him spending 5 minutes putting everything in a bottle in a pre-mixer. Okay. If I want to do that, I'll buy all the bottles. That comes in a Johnny Walker Blue, and I'll just mix it myself. I don't really does that take time and effort and all whatever? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But when you drink a whiskey, single barrel. Single malt, age statement.
Single barrel always. Yeah, single barrel is always going to be just...
Okay, that's single. Okay, you always drink from a single barrel. You always drink a single malt. That means no mix. And you always drink an age statement, right? And have a number on it. So it's at least 12
have a number
so it's
on
at
it.
least 15 years.
Or the bottled in bonds, or even like this one, even though it's cheap and chintzy. This is bottled in bonds, so you know it has a standard. Like there's a set standard it needed to meet.
Oh no!
To get
If it is core bourbon, it has a very stringent standard. Okay. Also, non-chill filtered and no coloring.
Non-chill filtered. Yeah.
Yep.
No coloring added. No flavoring added.
Because why? Because what do you taste in a whiskey? The craftsmanship, the age.
Craftsmanship. Yeah.
Yep.
The age. Yep.
And then you taste
wood.
the time, the wood, and the liquor that goes in there, the quality of the liquor that goes in there, right? So like, what
Yeah.
do you, what's the point of mixing all of that? So like, oh, I'm gonna mix in some of Isla to get the smokiness. I'm gonna mix in some of the Highland to get the richness. I'm gonna mix some of the Speakside to get the saltiness.
Never works.
No, it
almost never works.
It worked. When it's the most.
Sometimes.
It's the best-selling whiskey in the world.
Well, so Legit. Have you had Legit?
No.
It's the I want to say it's Jim Beam. It's Jim Beam with Japanese whiskey.
You lost me at Jim Beam.
I know I'm not a fan of Jim Beam, but so they
water down the Japanese whiskey. They water down the Japanese
with Jim Beam, and it's called Legit, and it's basically if you were to take like camp.
I remember because you were drinking that when we were having one of these drunk stream a year and a half ago. I remember that.
Yeah, and it is good. It's good. It's just, but it's not one of those things. It's more of that fun, unique. It's because they're unique and they're fun to drink and try, right? Like,
it's
an experience.
The purpose of art, craftsmanship, and history. Okay, let's go back to headphones.
Headphones, yes.
So what's so good about a headphone if you buy the driver from somebody else and try to tune the driver and put a thing and a headband on it?
I would say look at tuner cars. Or cars that put like LS engines into other cars that don't have that engine, right? Like, so I'd say that kind of a thing, like where they're tuning it to be this bigger, better thing coming.
And everybody and I love cars, and I hate the LS engine because it's obviously inefficient.
But you know what I mean. LS engine, everyone puts LS engine
like
everywhere.
If you want to do that, 7.2 liter push rod is literally inefficient because you have 2 valves per cam, right? It's like
I agree,
that's a very good because that's what you have right now is the LS in your because it's one time like no, but like people get I'm on the 4 cam of the Coyote engine, but then again that's not but a car is not the engine,
no,
right? Because
it's all the parts coming together in a synergistic way to make it perform well or not.
Because it's not about going fast in a straight line in a car. Again, us Americans might think that's going fast right in a straight line.
No,
right?
Garbage. I hate the straight line thing.
So
give me a mountain road.
Okay,
rally.
right.
Rally is where it's at.
Okay,
Rally or F1.
So here's my argument to you, right? And Chevrolet released that. Are you familiar with the Corvette Grand Sport?
Yeah, the new one. The new one's gorgeous, man.
Just the Grand Sport line. It's their car without the supercharged engine, but all the sports suspension.
Oh.
That's what the Grand Sport
line is.
It's
like the Cayman. It's like the Porsche Cayman. It's like the Porsche Cayman.
It's a sports car without the 7. It's a 7.2 liter engine, but without the supercharger. So it does not make 707 horsepower or whatever. It makes like about 500 horsepower, and it's fine, right?
Which who needs more than 300 horsepower at any given day? Like let's be real.
but the argument is that the engine is not the car. The suspension and the handling is more to the car. You know, the
Porsche Cayman. The Porsche Cayman, for example, of that.
Even if you're on a racetrack, there's the upper limits of how much horsepower you have. So no, but on the headphones. On the headphones, you have the driver, which is I want to say about 80% of the headphone. You can tune it. You can damp it with foam, and you can restrict the airflow, trying to tune. I
think that's where it's at, though. Come on, Rush. The headphone, so we can say IEMs, right? IEMs are harder, right? Because
you have more drivers.
Really.
There's more
variants. You could more variants, and you could beam it into your ear. You're not taking into account your ear as much, right? Like as far as I don't know what the science about it, but the headphones, you take into account the headphone itself is the room, like the room. I'm thinking in speaker terms now.
Right.
So the headphone itself is the room, and you are treating that room to get the best sound possible. That's how I view headphones. It's kind of like that split between it. You are actually right earlier on where you talk about how IEMs and then speakers, and then and then headphones are kind of like that happy medium, I guess. Between
it isn't.
Two.
It's a cut medium.
I say happy. You say sad, but
I'm sure I didn't use the S for it. I said cups.
That's the thing. Like the headphones, you get the cups are actually act like the room, and you can correct for that room. Whereas the IEMs are almost like pure music, I guess it would be the way to put IEMs, right? Because they're
you're
not
affected,
accounting
you're
for
not affected by the external factor.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's literally it's just being
Right.
it's all about the drivers. It's all about what you've
Right.
put in there to get that balance.
But
right?
if you're
Whereas
Anthony,
the headphone,
where your canal is like fucked up, then it kind of is.
I mean, if you have a U-turn in your ear canal, yeah, it's going to be a little weird to get that sound to get there. But...
You really need that realignment surgery. Not on his spine. Oh, on his spine and his ears. The guy needs to be more opinionated. I'm just kidding. I love Anthony.
I know, dude. Too bad.
He's the best co-host anybody can ever ask for.
But yeah, I mean, I think but then you have like speakers, like which can sound like complete crap, and then if you treat the room, they can sound amazing. It's the same thing with headphones, right?
I think an untreated room with a pair of speakers. Okay, now I'm glad you bring it up, right?
I don't treat my room, so I mean,
right. I don't either. I have so I am of the opinion that treating your room to have a linear response is only for mastering. So if you're a sound engineer, which we're not.
Yeah.
I like how people pretend like.
I know a couple guys that do that, but yeah, go ahead.
I also knew the conversation that you had in somebody with private who asked you for a headphone recommendation when they're a sound engineer, but you know that tells you how much they know, right? So let's let the name stay private. But no, I don't work. I don't work with my ears. Obviously, I have boomer ears, and I have come to the terms that anything and everything sounds the same to me, if I get used to it. No, I think,
no, yeah, it's true.
Right,
your brain will correct. Like your brain will correct.
If you're getting fucked in the ass day after day, you are very okay with getting fucked in the ass.
Your brain will correct for that.
Right. Yeah. You'll be like, anal isn't that bad after all. Oh, here's 5 p.m. Here's my 5 p.m. anal every day.
Here it comes. Let's do this. Let's go.
Oh boy.
Cheese and rice.
I think since I don't really care about I mean again I think it's more like a curiosity. I would like to find out if it's linear. Obviously it isn't because it's a room, right? Unless you treat your room, it's not going to be linear. But
unless you're in a completely sound dampened room,
right?
With
it's
completely
not, right.
zero
That's
noise.
How they measure their fucking speakers, right? Right.
Yeah.
That's how they measure their speakers. Literally in a fucking... My room is not going to look like that, okay? I'm not taking the posters down. The posters...
I don't have 100 inches of foam surrounding me at every point.
The posters are not going anywhere. Like, that's like the prerequisite. But like...
You need more plants. You need more plants in your room.
I have the best sound dampening wife, that my pillow. They're quite nice. My pillow. Yeah, I just put it behind me and design and oh no, but my point is like, let me go back to the good enough argument that I think if I don't do this for a living, I don't need to master any music. I just listen to music for fun. So like at the point I
listen to it to detox, like to relax.
At this point it's good enough. I don't need to
I'm listening to the music, not the headphones.
And you know what? I feel like for a very long time when I had IEMs, when I'm always into that whole IEM hi-fi thing, I'm always thinking to myself, like, when I have my VX on, I'm saying, oh, I wonder how they sound like in my Z1R. And when I have my Z1R, I think the vice versa, right?
I wonder how they sound with my speakers.
Right. But, like, when I listen to my speakers, I don't really have to think about that. All right. New topic. I think you'll love this topic.
How much do we love the Susvara?
It's fucking awful. It's the most. Okay, hey, this is what it is, right? The CPU. Okay, let me make a Okay. Oh my god. Are you okay with how much time do you have? How much time do we have to go?
I have another I could probably go for another 30 minutes.
Okay. We're gonna. This isn't the last topic that we're gonna have. All right.
Okay, that's fine. I might be able to go over it. It just depends on how... When I hear the footsteps start running down the hallway, right. I'll know it's time to...
Okay. Yeah. So we wanted to have this conversation a long time ago with another person. You know who I'm talking about, right? Has it been long enough that you are okay to talk about that?
I mean, it's still gonna be a hot topic, but I mean, those people are pretty much gone away from the audio world, from my understanding.
Right, exactly.
So.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, are you okay to talk about it, or should we just not?
Sure. Yeah. Whatever. We can talk about it.
Okay.
Sure.
So
I'll do my best to be a happy medium.
Oh no! I mean, like, I'm the one that had the hot take because I'm the one that got you into trouble. Like, my only comment, if anybody from headphones.com like that goes to the forum, my only comment on that forum is shit on that person, and they somehow like So who was your so your YouTube channel used to be with another person. You haven't deleted those videos, right?
No, those are. I mean, they weren't my channel. It wasn't my channel. That channel's. I don't know what's happening with that channel.
Okay. So you had a what is his name? What does he go by again on headphones.com?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
Wow,
That's how bad.
not even that bad, huh? That bad, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was, dude. It was like a random COVID thing where it's like, hey, let's start a show. Sure, let's do it. And then
that's how AD became a thing too. But okay, how about this? You had a show with another person who loves like Chi-Fi and Chi-Fi Man, and he has a Susvara and he loves it, right? That's like the baseline. And you got in a little bit of trouble with him just because. What was the trouble?
There's other things. There was a lot of other things.
Right.
That was, yeah.
But
there was a lot of drama that happened with that.
Oh yeah. There's like other dramas about you again like you being.
I don't have time for drama.
No.
Me, I don't like.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm all about drama. I loved it. I love that. But like when he bought the Susvara, I remember when he bought the Susvara, I was like, oh man, you know what would be great? Because like he's a nice guy too. Like he's soft.
Guy. He's a very nice guy.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah. My bad, not nice. You would say nice. I would say soft.
Very nice. He's a nice guy.
And quote me on this. If you go look at the podcast a year and a half ago, you can hear me quote unquote. I call him a bitch and he is. So he's a little bit soft. He's like a little bit sensitive for a grown ass man. By the way, not like me. Like I'm a fucking kid. Again. Like
I'm a kid. Too.
No, he like a grown ass man.
Seriously.
So like a fucking grown ass man who can't stand for himself. He loves the Susvara and he hates it when people call his headphone shit, which is hilarious, right? Because I have this opinion that the Susvara is literally the most awful. Like it's literally a rebranded HE1000. And they decided to sell it for $6,000. Okay, this is what Dr. Fang Biang did. All right, what if? Like you remember that meme?
Marvel's what if?
Like
Rush,
no,
Rush is now the Watcher.
No, not that what if. Have you ever?
I know.
Have you ever seen that meme? Have you ever seen a meme that like have that office meeting like a bunch of guys like we're running out of ideas. What should be the idea, right? The one guy's like, what if you make a better planar magnetic headphones that build off on HE6 and that's like stupid, right? And the last guy goes like, dumb. The guy was like, what if we
take the 1000 and rebrand it
and sell it for $6,000?
People will buy it.
Oh my god, people love that headphone because people tell themselves it's the best headphone in the world. Okay. Do you understand the process of CPU bending? So when you build a computer, you will bend a CPU. You buy every silicone is built differently. Intel and AMD cannot control it. Some CPU, some silicone will clock faster.
Skyrocket.
Yep. Some will clock faster than the others. But when you buy Intel CPU, they will bend to a minimum amount of time. When you overclock as an overclocker professionally, you buy tons of CPU and bid all of them. You pick the best one to overclock. What Hi-Fi did is to that extent to the Susvara. They take all the HE1000 drivers and they take the really good ones and you sell it for $6,000. And you cannot tell me any different because when you listen to them, say, well, if I A/B them on the same thing, it all sounds different. No, it does not. It sounds the same for most people. For most people, in the most circumstances, the old HE1000 sounds literally the same as the Susvara.
Yeah.
And if you tell me you can hear a difference, you are a fucking genius, which most people aren't. It's just a bend and process.
You heard it here first. HE1000, just buy that.
No, I you know what? I don't even think that headphone is good. I'm just saying it's literally.
I'm with you, man. Like so, this is gonna be a hot take a little bit for me.
It's not hot at all. We hate Chi-Fi in here.
But like, so for me, like,
Tyler,
man,
Tyler,
like,
I'm gonna have to bring down. You gotta bring down a hater, right? Since you're white, you can't talk shit about
I
the
know,
Wi-Fi.
right? I can't at all.
We hate Chinese
It's
people
fantastic.
on
It's
AD
a beautiful
podcast.
headphone.
Yeah,
It has this beautiful design
the
quality to it.
Chinese,
I love how it
headphones.
naturally patinas over time by flaking off all the parts. It's beautiful, that patina, that it grows with you as you grow with it. And then how the leather will just strip off as well. That's a nice patina. It adds the flavor
naturally
to
aged.
the
How
naturally ages with you
like
to
a whiskey,
become a
aged
part
like
of
a
you.
fine whiskey.
Like a whiskey, it ages with you. And the
It's more
flaking
mellow.
of the plating
okay, go
is
back.
amazing.
Okay, let's go back to how much you hate the Chinese people. Okay, go ahead.
Fun fact, my grandfather, who I love dearly and was a fantastic, he actually spoke six different dialects and was I remember going with him into Chinatown in San Francisco and just being blown away. Like, he'd walk into a place and just start like talking to
And
people.
I only speak two.
And you're like,
okay.
Yeah, I speak one.
Let's not get
Maybe a little bit of Spanish.
That's a racist joke. That's a racist joke. Tyler's not racist. I'm Chinese. We're just having fun, okay? Nobody's getting canceled. But we don't like Focal though. I'm just kidding. Okay, tell me how. Like, no, I don't think. Okay, if you listen to the Hi-Fi Main lineup, if you listen to the Hi-Fi Main lineup, they all sound the same for the most part, with the exception of the electrostatic, that's a different range of things, you know. So all of their planar.
That's electrostatic. Electrostatic's always gonna be different.
Right.
Yeah.
So all the planars, they all sound roughly the same, with price increase per performance of technicality, staging, and all that stuff. So that's
they're all like variations. Like, I've had the Ananda in, I've had the Aria, I've had I've listened to the 1000, I've listened to the Susvara, and they're all varying levels of. They do have a very similar
tone,
sound signature,
right,
like in tone and what have you. It's never been my thing. I've never really liked the Hi-Fi Man signature.
You just don't like Chinese people.
No, I love Chinese people.
I don't.
I love you, man. Come on.
I'm not Chinese. I'm white, bro.
It's good to know.
South. No.
But
oh boy.
No, but
this is why we should not get that.
Cheese and rice. Cheese and rice. No. But no. Seriously though, like I think that they're really the Hi-Fi stuff is good. Like, it's,
no, it isn't.
It's like that good enough. It's a good enough.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
It
isn't. You know why? Because it's stale. It's a pond.
It's stale. It is stale.
Infested with Chinese mosquitoes. Like, it's like a fucking like, they have never put out anything different in.
No, it's
never.
Pretty much the same. Yeah.
Like,
I can
all
agree
their headphones sounds the same. Oh, wait. Guess what the different headphone is? They came out with a different headphone. Do you know what that is? Exciting Hi-Fi.
Is it they copied the Sony? They copied Sony.
Yes.
They took the Sony headphone and they because the patent ran out, and so they took the Sony.
Yes.
And it's garbage. Everyone I've heard that's had and heard that has said it's the worst sounding thing.
Oh my god! So Dr. Fang Biang have the fucking balls in the launch release holding up his fucking cheap-ass Hi-Fi Man and compare it to one of the most legendary closed-back Sony headphones out there. And he says that we are remaking the headphone. And I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
How Chinese
and making the planar.
They did it in planar and dynamic.
Two models.
Yes.
Yeah. One really a copy, then one a planar.
One costs $1.5 grand. One costs $5,000. And I'm like, how Chinese
the planar version
can you be? When your name in Chinese literally translates to convenient. How convenient is that? How convenient is it that your name is convenient? Go search it up. It's called Fang Bian, as in it sounds like convenient in Chinese. How convenient is that you made a headphone, just ran the patent ran up, and it turns out to be horrible? I mean, like, there's no.
And to kind of go back to the Hi-Fi thing real quick, I want to touch. Someone actually mentioned it too here. The HE6 always up says HE6 SE V2 with EQ and grill mod is enough for me. And my answer to that is, well, you had to EQ it and put a grill mod to make it sound good. No, I'm joking. But like,
my answer is that you have not heard the original HE6. It sounds completely different.
But no. My biggest problem with the hi-fi. Sorry, and I'm joking with you. Always up.
What you're saying is that my biggest problem with the Chinks is that.
Can't win. No, but like, but no joke.
You're
like,
so
so
you're so cancel after this.
I am. I'm a canceled.
I'm
not big.
Racist
like,
against the Chinese headphones. Love focals. Racist against the Chinese headphones.
No, because I'm using ZMF, so I can't.
But they're American. They're American though.
They have Chinese manufacturing. Chinese headphones.
How dare you? They're assembled in America. Go ahead,
dude. I think it's one world, man. At the end of the day, man, let's be real here. Like, I can't stand that, man. It's one world, man. As soon as we get to anyway, sorry, that's a whole nother rant. But anyways, like, so my biggest problem with the Hypermans is that the goal shifting, like the goalpost shifting, and like the weird like barrier of interest. So like even the Sasfara, right? So if you say like, oh, it didn't sound good, I didn't like this. People are gonna be like, well, what amplifier were you using? Were you using a speaker amp with the speaker taps with the blah 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 blah? It's like, and that's with all the hi-fi. Like all of them have like this weird goalpost shifting where it's like,
it's called the idiot logic. The thing that when you have how about this? When you have a $6,000 headphone, it's very normal to have a $6,000 amp, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
no.
Yes.
But yeah, you should. I mean, if you were to look at like the ratio, the golden ratio, right, of like equal balance, right?
No, just talk about it on a car. If you have a
you're not going to put 80 whatever into a 92.
Right.
Yeah.
So how about this on headphones? I think it's very again. So if you have $1,000, again, I'm not subscribed to the Reddit autism logic about like amp and DAC scaling, right? I'm not about it. I believe that the most expensive DAC that you will ever have is the RME ADI2 Pro, but then you will never use the amp section of that, and then you will buy a separate amp.
Yeah.
And I believe the only amp that you will ever use is a HPA4, and if you want a tube amp, then you're a fucking boomer, okay? So if
the HPA4 is basically a THX 789 on crack or steroids.
Right, and why wouldn't you want that? Right? Except it has way more power. Way more
power. I'm being a jerk. Power. Like it's way more efficiency, way more power, way more power. Yeah. And it doesn't have it. And it doesn't have. It has a little bit more soul to it.
It's linear.
It's not as.
No, it's dead. Yeah. It's dead. So you have the most dead setup. You have an RME ADI2 Pro into HPA4, and that's literally
the only. Pretty dead setup. That's pretty soulless.
You will have the deadest setup, and you know why? Then you buy a good headphone.
Okay. Then you buy a good headphone, and then all you're hearing is the headphone.
You don't buy a Susvara because it's trash, because it's literally a bin version of You don't buy a Planar because it's literally a cucked setup. Why would you ever buy a Planar? You say, this is going back to the whole HD800 argument. You need an amp to fix your headphones. Just buy a different. If I need an amp to fix my if I need an amp to fix my $6,000 headphone. Buy a different headphone.
The Susvara is the HD800 of the Planar world.
No, yes, except it's $6,000, and
except it's $6,000 and not.
Right, so like, why would you ever do that to yourself?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I thought when I had the Susvara, it is definitely exceptional. What amp did you use with it, huh? What amp did you use? I had the HPA4, man. It
sounds so bad, doesn't it? It sounds so bad. It sounds awful. It's like.
So the Susvara, in and of itself,
Susvara is $6,000 worth of erectile dysfunction.
Is it $6,000? No, it is not. I do not find. I think that is pure. That's marketing. Like that. The $6,000
I don't care.
It's pure marketing.
It's so limp. It sounds so limp. Susvara is literally erectile dysfunction in the headphone, and if you have the Susvara, you probably are going to have like Anthony. You need to get your PP checked because you like the Susvara. if you need, go ahead.
I don't want to be like, because it is good.
It isn't. No, it isn't.
I personally do not.
You're telling me. You're telling me. When you have the Susvara,
would I buy it? No.
No.
I would
Okay.
not buy
No.
the
I don't
Susvara.
even care if you buy it or not. You have the Susvara. You have the HPA4. Did you think it was good?
Uh-huh.
It's literally the limpest sounding thing because I literally have the same setup too when I listen to it, and it was like the most hilarious thing. Like my shop guy in China is like, hey, you want to hear the worst sounding Susvara in the world? And he let me try Susvara and HPA4, and I'm like, wow, this sounds awful. He's like, yeah, that's what it sounds like because it's awful. And he goes like, and then you know what he goes like? Say, guess what? I sell 5 of these a month.
I feel like the guy from that Spanish thing right now with the dude that's talking and he's just dying laughing. But like, so yeah, I agree. Like, I think it was not. I mean, I think technically it is technically a good.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
It's not.
If you have a linear amp and you have a linear DAC. And if your headphone, if you have a linear on both things, and your headphone sounds awful, whose fault is it? So you have a linear DAC, which is the RME 80i2 Pro. You have a linear amp, which is the
I have it right here.
HPA4.
I literally have it right here.
And you plug it into the Susvara, and it sounds horrible. Who the fuck's fault is it?
It's gonna be the Susvara, but yeah.
Exactly. It's an awful headphone. That nobody should like. There's no excuse to that. It's like, oh, it
it's
sounds
money,
better.
Man.
No.
It's marketing.
Yeah, of course it's marketing. People want to spend $6,000 on Chi-Fi, because they're known for having great ideas, and their CEO holds out 2 pairs of headphones, which is literally a shitty copies of Sony. Okay, so you want to support a company, which you really shouldn't, because, like, again, the guy literally have no morale. Right? Or you want to support the sound signature, which is so awful because all of their headphones sound the same. If you want to, if you want to spend $6,000 on a tube amp, that's fine by me. But if you want to hear distortion, then you should really drink whiskey instead of buying a $10,000 amp.
Truth. Just drink whiskey, you'll be a much happier person.
Again, like, why would you if all things are constant and your headphones are one that sounds awful, it's your headphones' fault.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would like to hear anybody would argue against
should we have Android jump back in and defend the sus?
No, he really shouldn't have jumped up in and defend the sus. His pee-pee's limp. That's all. It's like it's when you get to the bright age of 35, you can't it doesn't work as well as before, so you have to buy the Susvara and buy a tube amp to tell yourself that you really don't have erectile dysfunction. And it's all okay. It's all going to be okay in a few years. It's
really just your headphones. It's the sound waves from your headphones are just they're bringing you down.
That it's okay. Yeah, they're telling you that everything is gonna be okay. No, but I would like to hear somebody arguing against the stack. Like you can't argue against like 2 linear things, two of the most best measuring and linear things in the world. And when you plug your shitty headphones into it, and somehow it sounds shitty, just because it's a shitty headphone.
And so I will. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan. Obviously, no. I'm not a fan of high.
Okay. Going back to the original argument.
Right? We're biased. It's to some level, right? Like
I am neutral of everything in the world. You are a.
Everyone's biased, dude. My word is objective. Literally, everyone's biased. Literally, everyone's biased on something.
But go back to your little drama.
My little drama.
The reason I want to get him on the show is to shit on Chi-Fi Man in front of his face, and you.
That'd be not fun.
That would be, but it would be fun for me. You see, like I can see that. I love doing that. I've been like just have this pent up rage over how bad this Susvara is. Like I just can't. Like every time somebody gets a Susvara, I'm like.
You should have. We should get. Well, Andrew. The Susvara is Andrew Parks. Or sorry. Resolve's favorite headphone.
Yeah, because when it's free, it would be my favorite headphone too.
So maybe Rush is secretly a mirror.
How about this? Like, no. I mean, like, understand. Don't get me wrong. Susvara is not a bad headphone. Susvara is a great headphone for a price of $850.
I would say you could well in today's market you could probably push it to like the $2,000 range. Like I honestly think it's in the $2,000 range.
Okay.
And so here's my thinking on it, right? So you have this as far. I think a lot of this is like how much money can we get people to pay is really what we're looking at. Even the LCD5s, all the latest high-end headphones.
So when
right?
I want you to imagine this, okay? This is a different
stealth,
picture,
even
right?
the stealth. The stealth is another version, right?
No!
You love the stealth. You want the stealth. You want to put it on your
The
head.
Ben Cuck Audio Stealth? Okay. Let's get over to Susvara first, and we move on to Dan Cuck Audio Stealth, which I have not heard, by the way. Which I have not heard. Which
I haven't heard either.
I haven't heard either. I do not want to hear. Okay. The same picture.
Go.
Dr. Fang Bian holding up two things, right? He says, we're going to make these, right? Instead of the R10s, he holds up two different sized dildos. How far? He goes like, say in Chinese. He'll say it in Chinese. I'm doing the live translation. How far can we shove these dildos into our customers' assholes?
It's funny because it's accurate.
And when his marketing department decide that $6,000 is how far they can shove out to their customers' assholes, and he goes like, well, $6,000 it is. Because that's how far you will take it up your ass when you're buying a fucking Susvara. You're buying a $2,000 headphone with an upcharge of $4,000. Okay, no, obviously nobody buys it in MSRP, but still, you know.
No, yeah, that's right. Like if you buy it at that level, it's gonna be you made mistakes in your life.
Well,
but
no,
like,
or you're just rich out beyond belief.
Or you're just so rich you don't care.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure that's who they're catering to. Let's be real.
Exactly.
They're catering to people that are like, I want the most expensive thing. I don't care how it sounds. I just want the most expensive thing to be like, I have the most expensive thing. And there's plenty of those people out there in the world. And so,
hey, for a lot of people, $2,000 versus $6,000, it doesn't make a difference to them. So you know.
Yeah, 100%.
But it does to me because I'm poor. But you know, that's why I care about how far he shoves up in my ass, which he doesn't. I don't have a hi-fi man, by the way.
Dude, I'm a trophy husband. I fully appreciate these.
Hey,
things.
I wish I'm a trophy husband. Oh, I am still.
I'm an ugly trophy husband. But,
no. Okay. Are we still on this? I mean, like, I don't. I hate.
I think the Hypherman thing is a ridiculous thing because at the end of the day,
Resolve loves it. Obviously, he works for headphones.com. Okay.
Ant loves it. Ant loves it.
Well, okay. How about this? Resolve loves it, and I don't blame him, right? And it's a good headphone. I'm not gonna say it's a bad headphone.
It's a good headphone.
I don't think it's a good headphone for. I think it's a good headphone. Okay, if one pops up on Headfi, not Headfi, sorry, they don't sponsor. If one pops out on the classified form on headphones.com,
just on classifieds,
the classified section on headphones.com, what would be the price that you willing to pay for a used Susvara on headphones.com's classified?
Personally, me.
Yeah, you personally, yes.
If they popped up for like it'd be pushing it to $2,500, but $2,000 to $2,500, that would be like
$1,200. That's the maximum I will pay.
But the problem is that I know the build quality. So then it's probably that already colors me already. So then I'd be like, that's still pricey. If it was in the $1,500 to $2,000 range, I'd probably buy one.
$1,200. That's all I will pay. You know why? Because
instantly. If it was $1,200, insta buy. Yeah,
I don't have the amp for it. I have to get another amp for it, and it was just.
I'd have to buy a whole nother amp.
Right, you have to buy another. You have to buy.
Adds another cost.
Based on the boomer excuse, you have to buy a $6,000 amp for your Susvara. Because your HPA4 doesn't work on it, right? That's your problem.
It doesn't work.
No,
yeah,
right?
you need a $10,000 stereo amp to make it sound fantastic.
But no, I think like you know. That as good as they sound on a regular amp, I think $1,200. That's most I will pay for a used Susvara. And if you pay anything more than that, you're fucking retarded. Sorry, maybe not used.
I think if it was $1,200, it would be hard for me to pass up. Yeah,
but I get the luxury. I get the luxury marketing and the $6,000.
It's a luxury thing.
Yeah, like there's $6,000. I get it. I get all that. But you know, yeah, of course, this Resolve's favorite headphones. Obviously, like if you compare it against itself, like you know. If you compare the Susvara of a open back planar headphones, and you think to yourself, which other open back planar headphones are better than the Susvara? No, there is none. Well, actually, there is, and that one costs only $1,000.
1,000 SE.
Right? No. Actually, going even way back than that, it's called the HG6, the original, but you need a speaker.
Oh yeah, HG6.
Yep.
Which, dude, the HG6, I will admit, I had ants in, and I had it out the back of my TT2. I had it out of the Vidar, and that thing slams, dude. That thing is a beast.
If
that.
you give it more power, it will slam harder. That is
It
the
will,
craziest
dude,
headphone in the world.
Yeah, like that one is a beast.
Dr. Fabian.
Would I pay more than $1,000 for it? No, but
yeah, I would. Yeah,
$600-$700.
Dr. Fabian made one headphone. That is the one-hit wonder, and he's just riding on the hype of that one headphone, and that's it. The HG6 is the best headphone that he made.
He didn't even make that one though. He didn't even make that. It was some other guy.
Did he not? Damn.
Yeah, it was some other guy.
That's sad. That's so sad. The HG6 is the best hi-fi man headphone. Not the SE. The HG, the original HG6 is the best hi-fi man headphone ever made and ever will be. And the best planar magnetic headphones in the world. Ever made, ever will be. Alright, let's go to a very short conversation about the Dan Cuck Audio Stealth.
Oh, Jesus.
How do you cuck your headphones? Okay? This is how you cuck your headphones, right? Planar, close back. That's how you make a really, really bad headphone. Planar, bad bass. Close back, back bass. Planar, close back. No!
Planar close backs are tough. Planar, so LCD-XC. No. I actually have the Rogner here. I'm going to do a video on it later, probably next week. But yeah, like closed back planars are such a unique beast.
No, it's not you. Okay. Tyler, you have a kid.
I do.
She is very brilliant. Brilliant child.
For a 5-year-old, maybe.
Now, let's say you don't have that brilliant child. Okay. Let's like alternate reality, like Marvel What If.
Yeah. What if?
If your child is somehow retarded. Special would be the word you use for your retarded child. The Dan Cuck Audio Stealth is as special as a retarded child.
I haven't heard it, so I can't. I
don't need to. It's
like,
planar close back. You can't uncuck yourself from that. It's not.
So here.
3 right turn do make a left turn, but 2 fucking doesn't make it unfuck.
I haven't heard it, so I can't speak on it. I really can't.
Well, now you're not hearing it ever again. Now that I said it.
I know. I'll probably never ever hear it. But like the thing with the Dan Clarks, I've heard a couple of Dan Clarks. I've heard a couple of them. I think one, they're probably the most comfortable headphones I've ever worn.
Okay, no, fine. Sorry, my bad. Sorry. Let me ask you a question before you go on. What's the best headphone Dan Clark ever made that you have heard?
Maybe probably the Ether V2, maybe.
Okay. Now go back.
But I mean, even that one. Yeah. And so but at the same time, like as comfortable as they are, I'm not a planar guy though. Like I love my dynamics.
Nor should anybody be a planar guy on a headphone.
And so, like, but it's just like I just personally, I think they sound. If you like that planar sound,
you don't.
They're okay. But here's the problem with Dan Clark stuff is like there's such a niche. Like there's such a.
It's not a niche, but they're so.
God, I'm gonna get canceled, man. They're not. They're really. It's like there is a percentage of people that really love their Dan Clarks, right? And like
because they're stupid. They're stupid. They're dumb. They're stupid in the head, and they're the dumbest people. I don't know, man.
Like some people just like that signature.
Because they're boomers. Because they're boomers. You know why? Because they're boomers, and they have roll-off built into their ears on both ends of the spectrum, right? You can't hear bass and you can't hear treble. That's why you like Dan Cuck audio. Okay, now
I think with Dan Clark.
If DAC wants to give me again, I am brilliant marketing. All right, DAC for the boomer would roll off on both ends. There you go. That's my slogan.
I honestly, so one of the things I did not like, I heard the Voce, the
electrostatic, yep.
And that was that was not good, dude. Like I will admit, that was not
special headphone.
That did not sound good. And then the
Hey, Tyler, what amp did you hear it out of, huh?
Jesus. Yeah, and so here's the other thing: is like there's always going to be that goalpost shifting, right? I had a very specific amp for it. I'm sure at one point or another,
awful. It's awful. No, you know what? I heard it.
Synergy is a thing, sure, right? Like,
there's only one okay, well, we're not gonna go on an electrostatic rant, okay? There's only one electrostatic amp in the world, and say it with me. It's only 4 letters. It's called BHSE, okay? The Blue Hawaii Special Edition.
Yeah.
If you do not have that amp for your electrostatic headphones, you do not have electrostatic headphones.
There is that too. Like if you don't have a very specific amp, there's a very specific.
I mean, unless
like you have now.
No, unless you have HE1, which has its own amp built in. So if you have electrostatic headphone that does not have its own amp built in, the only answer to any electrostatic headphone amp, it's BHSE. And if you don't have that amp, then you're just fucking yourself. That's the barrier to entry. An $8,000 amp.
Yeah, and that's true. I mean, and I've had the different variations, but then Stax doesn't need that. Stax
it does. No, it does. Like it does. The best.
some people will say it does.
No, the best sounding stack is a 009S out of a BHSE.
Yeah. It's almost meme-y, dude. It's almost meme-worthy. But like, it's. And if you don't have it, no one will take you seriously for whatever you're.
No, it's not even
of.
that. It's literally the only amp that you have. Like there is no such thing as cheap E-stat. The rest of them are poorly designed.
And
the point of the BHSE, is because they sound so warm, it makes your E-stat sounds like dynamic driver. So at that point, you should really just get a dynamic driver headphone. Just get dynamic driver. Please.
And that's always been the biggest crux. That's why I like ZMF so much. Like, it's just.
But you don't get to
spend dynamic.
Okay, going back to Dan Cook Audio.
Yeah.
Going back to Dan Cook Audio.
Dan Clark Audio. So Dan Clark Audio, I think he does really good, fantastically comfortable, amazing.
Bro.
Dude, they're so comfortable. So comfortable.
How much do they weight? Have you tried their old headphones?
Almost nothing.
The old ones?
I haven't heard a lot of their old ones. Not the old ones, but like all their new ones, like the Ethers and like the all their most recent ones. But the old ones I haven't messed with. Yeah, I haven't really messed with. But Dan Clark, I think with those, they're pursuing a very specific audience, and I can't even say that. Like I don't know. Like whoever likes them, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right?
I mean, like
if you like something, you like it.
You have like mediocre headphones, and people like are okay with it, then they buy it, right? And if you want to make like again, like I have yet to hear a planar magnetic headphone that has like a bass. Has like good bass, okay? HE6B the only exception of that headphone.
I agree. And even HE6SE is like you have to overpower that so much to get it to that level.
As the original. Okay, but like the thing is that like the Stealth is like in terms of design wise, it's already awful because it's planar, which has like weird. Like if you are okay with a planar timbre, that's fine. That's fine, right? If you
strengths are that you have super good resolution and separation. That's really the strengths. Really, that's it. The ability to basically take notes.
If you're okay with a planar timbre, texture, roll off, and like everything that comes with a planar headphones,
and the massive separation that they create,
right,
between it.
Fine, get a planar.
Sure.
And if you want to get a closed back. That always double fucks you on timbre. Planar always have awful timbre already. You have a close back with even worse timbre and bass. Why would you fuck yourself? Okay. I know some people like to get fuck in front and in behind at the same time. That is a preference if you buy the Dan Cook Audio Stealth. Personally, I'm saying I don't like to be DP'd metaphorically by Dan Cook Audio. If you buy the Stealth, that's what you're doing to yourself. You're cucking yourself.
I haven't heard it, so until I hear it, I can't give an opinion.
You can hear it, and you know what we can do? Get your HPA4 back, and you can just hear it on HPA4. It will sound awful. No, I don't know why you will have a close back. Close back headphone itself is already bad, and planar itself is already bad.
At the end of the day, like close backs, you're always going to have a detriment. Like you're always going to try to be compensating for something. I agree with that.
But it folds. But it
And
folds. But it folds. It folds in that little neat little packaging. You can't take it with
does,
you.
it folds.
You can't take it with you, with your travel setup. Except for your amp, it's like literally 50 pounds.
It's literally 50 pounds.
You can't take your Dan Cook Audio Stealth with you.
Ooh. So Android actually makes a point. The Odyssey sign. I actually heard his that he has.
Oh,
that's like
no.
the custom. He did the
Oh,
custom ear
no.
pads.
Oh,
That was
no.
pretty good. I really like
no.
that. It was the Odyssey sign that he had with the God, what was it? It was like the skull candy pads, I think is what he uses. And it sounds great. It's comfortable. It sounds great. But it's good enough. It's one of those good enough things, right?
No,
Like,
it
what's
isn't. No,
good enough?
when it comes to like good enough is it's $1,000 good enough. Like $5,000, that's like it has to be really really good. I'm poor, man.
If
I'm
paying
poor,
five-
man. I
if
can't
I'm-
afford
yeah,
$5,000.
If I'm paying $5,000, you need to be really giving. I need to put on a headphone. It needs to look fantastic. It needs to be built fantastic. It needs to be. I need to put it on. I need to turn on my track of choice, and I need to get, and
Up the ass.
instantly.
No, I don't.
I was gonna say hard, but you know what I mean. Like I need it. That's a lot of money for a headphone.
Again, like
let's be real here.
you don't want to think about the price, but you think about the price, right? Like obviously,
I think about the price.
Obviously, none of us is
It's ridiculous.
millionaires, right? So like obviously, like the $4,000 price difference does make a very big difference. It's literally 4 times the price, right? So
Yeah.
you want to say that
Well, so for example, the headphone, not the most comfortable
Awful.
headphone thing. It's
Awful.
massive. It's ugly. It's what it, but it sounds.
awful. No, it
that-
does not. No, it does not.
It sounds good, dude.
No, it does
Sounds like
not.
that
What
sounds
is
like,
wrong
it's like a
with you?
Planar HDM.
Oh my god.
I like these. I like that
Oh my
one.
God.
The headphone is good.
Oh my
I like
God.
it better than the Aria or the
course,
HE,
that's-
any of the Hi-Fi stuff.
No.
But like,
No.
no. But like, it is what it is, right?
Okay.
It's
No, it isn't what it
But-
is. Okay.
okay. Here we go. Best closed back you can get. Let's go, Odyssey Mobius.
Nope.
Close
you
back.
cannot hear it, and I will say the name. I will say it again. The On Cue, and I'll say it again, and listen closely. All right, that's the best
On cue.
$3,000 you'll ever spend in your life. The On Cue SN1. They
Oh,
make
I
their
never
own
even heard of
drivers. It's the best closed back headphone, and it's old too. It's also brown. You like that brown, so there's that. Very good. Like the most capable, the most uncut in terms of timbre, the most resolution out of a closed back headphone you will ever get in your life. Like by far. Like that compared to the Celia, not even. Same price by the way still. But you're not gonna get it here because the Japanese do not sell to the peasants, which is what you guys are. Because you guys don't know what good headphones are.
God dang peasants, ruin it
No,
for
like
everybody.
I don't think like all these American planar manufacturers are just don't know what they're doing.
Well, what American planners are? Oh, I guess Dan Clark. You have Dan Clark. I
LCD?
mean, I don't know
Odyssey?
too many other LCD Odyssey.
That's the two.
God, the LCD5 I'm interested in hearing.
no,
That's
how about
like
this?
right now of the flagships. Like that's the only one. But see, that's the other thing too, man. You have all these flagships coming out right now, and it's like I don't really care about flagships as much.
I do. I think it's
Like
interesting.
I want to know. I think they're interesting because I want to see what the trickle down effect. Right.
Right,
Like,
I
want to
wouldn't
see
buy them.
what's. I wouldn't buy them exactly. Like I want to hear them, but I don't necessarily want to buy them. I want to see what the trickle down effect. I want to see what
would be the
what
name
technology
of,
comes from
what
that.
would be the name of the step down of stealth? What would be like less stealthier than the stealth?
the sneak.
The Dan Cook audio sneak that costs $2,500, right?
The thief. The thief. We'll call it the thief.
Yeah, because he's stealing your money. No, I don't think. No, his headphones are not good, and people that convince themselves that they're good. Okay. This is why people love Chi-Fi Man so much, because in terms of planar, they sound great.
Yeah.
If you, I'm going to say, as much as I hate Chi-Fi Man, I would say they're the best company that makes a planar headphone. The Susvara.
Yeah.
The Susvara
It's
is the
simple.
pinnacle of planar headphones. That sounds worse
agree.
that sounds worse than
Which is
than
because
a
they use
$1,000
magnets too, which is crazy.
Right. But like
These old crap cheap magnets, like to make this as far, like I'm not an engineer, I'm not a person that whatever, but based on what I know of that world, that is not that expensive. The profit margins for a Sasfar at MSRP is insane.
Oh yeah, I know what their profit margin is. It's like fucking 55%, bro. Just
Plus,
for the
it has to be
retailer.
plus.
Just for the retailer.
Just for retailer.
Yeah.
For retailer, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
It's that their profit margin is upwards of 85%. Like if you pay them just on the you don't pay them R&D, you just pay on the material. You literally spend like about 10-15% on the material alone. Cuz like it doesn't cost like again,
It's been out forever.
I'm not going to say that they're bad. I'm not going to say that they're bad. Like
No, they're not bad.
I am
They're
the
not bad.
opinion that Susvara properly driven, not on an HPA4, is the best planar magnetic headphones. But then again,
100%.
right? But then again, when you have the best planar headphones in the world, you still sounds worse than a fucking Utopia. So what's the point of that? Right? I'm not even gonna go any lower.
Opinions.
No, not opinion.
But
fact.
like,
I spit the truth,
I mean,
and nothing but the truth.
You can't handle the truth. But like, I'm in. So this is a bad because we're like a circle jerk right now. But like, I'm in opinion to align with you. Like, I prefer the Utopia over especially on build quality. And some people are like, oh, they creak.
You love the
but like,
French and you hate the Chinese. Just say it.
Oh, that's not even accurate. But like but truthfully, some people like have problems with the focality. Like they creak. I've yet to have a Utopia creak. I've yet to have I've seen it in videos. I've seen it in things where like the driver does the weird like brr, whatever.
That's an old problem.
That's an old problem. Like, I've never had a Focal have the problems that
Do you
people
know
talk
why
about.
they have a 5-year warranty on the Focal Utopia, even if you sell it used? Because of that problem. Yep.
It's crazy.
So if you
I
want to complain, about that problem, the only reason on your current Utopia that it has a 5-year warranty on it is because you are benefiting from that. If you have one of those Utopia that creaked and made driver flags, you send it back to France, and they send you a new fucking If you bought a used Utopia
within the last 5 years,
within the last 5 years for $1,500, you contact Focal and say, I have a driver issue. They will take your used Utopia without any proof.
It's gonna take forever. You're gonna be without a headphone for like
doesn't matter.
6 months.
No. It doesn't matter. I don't care how long it takes them.
Yeah.
They will send you a new fucking Utopia.
They will send you a new one,
of the $1,500 that you bought used on fucking headphones.com classify form. Bro, you just made $2,000. And if you want to turn around and sell that new Utopia for $3,000, I'm sure somebody will buy it.
Yeah.
So if you want to complain about, don't buy a 5-plus-year-old Utopia. Buy a 4-year-old Utopia, claim it has driver flags, send it back to Paris, have a new Utopia sent to you. Yes, dude.
Don't be a jerk.
Do that. Dude, no. I have heard so many, no, you know why Utopia...
I know.
You know why Utopia is so expensive in China? Is because they can literally do that all the time.
Oh, it's so insane.
I know, they do that. I know they do it. And they go like, I'll just get a new Utopia. Focal fucked up. So they say, okay, everything have a 5-year warranty. If we can't fix it, we'll give you a new fucking headphone. That's what they did. They gave up free fucking headphones. So if you want to complain that your used Utopia, again, name another company that your warranty will transfer with ownership. It will almost never. I will give you one headphone that does that. The Focal Utopia. They will check the serial number on your headphones. If less than 5 years old, they will fucking replace your headphone for you.
Which is insane. Which is fantastic. Like, Focal, they really do some...
I don't like the French, but holy shit, bro. How can you buy a used broken Focal and get a new one?
Everyone I've met from Focal, I will put this on statement, I've liked every single one of them.
I don't like any of them because they're all French. I don't like French people.
I think they're fantastic. Everyone I've met from Focal has been amazing. And I mean, honestly, outside of my weird, as a child, interaction with a French person, I've had really lovely experiences with French people. But that being said, I don't know, man. Like, I think Focal does fantastic work. Their build quality is beyond.
Okay,
Like,
no,
honestly, I've
it's
yet to
3.5
find
grand.
something.
It's 3.5 grand. It better be fucking good, right? Let's not put
It better be fantastic.
Yeah, right.
Let's be real. No, you're right. Like, I've yet to, like, honestly, as far as like build quality for headphones, I've yet to come across a headphone that is as well built as a Focal. Like, I'm sorry, like all the headphones I've had in house, and even the ZMFs, like the ZMFs are fantastic. I love them. Like, they're literally my number one headphone. Focal makes fantastic build quality. Like, I'm sorry, they're just fantastic, in my opinion. And I know that some people have problems with it, where they creak or whatnot. But then if you contact them, they'll fix it.
Oh no, they'll take forever. You know why? You know why they take forever? Europeans.
European. That's another factor, right? There's that. There's the Europeans do take forever.
They'll get back to you eventually. Europeans. They're on a different type of work schedule than Americans. They don't work all day.
Oh yeah.
They have
siestas and
No,
stuff.
they do not. They do not. Focal do not work all day. You'll get the reply maybe like 3-4 months down the line, but you're getting a free Utopia, so stop bitching about it. But no.
And we're getting long in the tooth, but like, so we're at 2 hours now. Like, so I want to address some of the things. So we have someone mentioned Clears Creek, so that's P4. Yes, I have heard them. I've seen them on video. I've seen the creek. I've seen the whatnot.
You mean on the headband?
And yes, yeah, like the headband will do like the. I mean, I can grab my. Where my Stelias? God dang it! So here's my Stelias, right? Like, I have a pair of Stelias. Define creak, right? Like, there's another part of me that's like, everything is gonna make noises when it interacts.
Do you know what a grease is? Do you know what a grease is? Like a grease, like some little drop of grease.
Yeah, like WD-40.
Yeah, like some WD-40. You know what WD-40 is? Yeah. Just spray some of that in your Focal. Yeah, there you go. Fixes everything up.
But I mean, don't do that. Don't put WD-40. But like, everything creaks.
Just spray it directly into the driver. Makes it sound smoother.
Yeah. Sounds so good. So good. Once it goes into the driver,
yeah,
it's so good.
Get rid of all that metallic Focal clear timbre. Just spray some WD-40 onto
just
your
dump
tire.
some EEOV. Let's put some extra virgin olive oil in there. Just to be.
Thanks, Rachel Ray.
Yeah, thanks, Rachel Ray. But like, I mean, these don't have the most creaky thing because there's not much moving parts. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, sometimes some of the creaking factor, you have to look at how they're built, right? Like, there's that too. Like, these things are built internal. There's these things, they're gonna have a natural creak to them to some level. Whereas like ZMS, there's literally 2 points of contact. It's the freaking little band that's holding the connectors here.
Odyssey headbands.
Yeah, like you're not gonna get a lot of creak because there's literally there's nothing to creak.
Right.
But I don't know. That's. Am I making excuses? Sure, there could be that as well.
I mean, like, I don't think you should like anything should like have any like mechanical annoyances when it's like 1.5 grand.
Sure. Agreed as well. But when these are on my head, I never hear that. I never have that.
Maybe you don't move your head enough. Move your head more, Tyler.
I should be headbanging. You're right.
He does not have the hair for headbanging. That's why I am doing all the headbang tests.
I end up just wrecking my neck. That's what happens when I headbang.
That's okay.
It's just me breaking my neck. But beyond that, like, I mean, sure, if it creaks, that's a problem. Sure, like I can see that. Is it creaking while you're listening to music? Like, are you forcing the issue? Are you being OCD? I mean, what's the thing? Because I could nitpick anything really at the end of the day. Right?
Oh, I think people should. I mean, like,
yeah, especially at a certain price point.
Yeah, when it costs so much, there should be things that you shouldn't have to, like, when it costs $3.5 grand, you really should make sure your driver does not blow up.
Yeah, if the driver is making weird warble noises at a certain point, you should be like,
that shouldn't happen, right? But it did, so they're trying to fix it. So like,
yeah.
But no, don't ever.
But that goes for that goes for everybody. Like that's anybody. Like, I mean, that's going to be customer support. And then that's really the ultimate test is how well does customer support deal with these issues? And if you're getting the runaround, if you're getting jerked around with because you have a problem, they're like, I don't want to fix this, and that could also just be that specific customer support person.
Are you ready?
Like,
are you
I've
ready,
also
Tyler?
had that.
Are you ready, Tyler? Are you ready for the ultimate
I'm
ad
ready.
break? That's why I always buy from headphones.com with their 365-day return policy. Let it be clear, this is not an ad break. I have never bought anything from them, so there's that. I am in very good terms with the Terran, so that's why. That's why I always if I were to buy a $6,000 headphone, then sure it'd be from fucking headphones.com. Because when I don't like my Susvara, I am sure gonna return that shit. Don't buy Susvara from headphones.com, please.
Like so Junsei, I hope I'm pronouncing your name. CPCP. Demo impressions. So this is another factor that people don't take into account sometimes. A lot of times you see like I'm guilty of this to some level, right? Like, I mean, we get I have a Ragnar in right now from Kinnerton. I'm gonna have like a week and a half, 2 weeks with this headphone. I don't have long-term experience. I'm not gonna have that long-term experience. I'm gonna have initial impressions. I'm gonna have, probably 20 plus hours worth of listening to this thing, and then I'm gonna do a video and I'm gonna send it off to the next person.
Okay.
And so
maybe podcast for another day.
That could be another podcast for another day. How does
your real review process works? Okay, so here's a teaser. If Tyler hasn't gotten canceled yet because he hates Chinese people, canceled. He's probably canceled. He hates Chinese people and he hates the French. What else does he hate? So if he hasn't gotten canceled yet, we'll do another podcast on his review process and my review process and our opinion on the whole IE. Like, we should get
Android in for this one. We'll make sure he's in it because he has a review process.
Make sure his Susvara is on
webcam
his head.
Works and his Susvara is on his head.
Make sure I'm telling him how bad his Susvara is. But okay, yeah. So without going too long into your demo thing, go ahead.
Oh no, but so that's a factor, right? Like, so that is something to take into account is. Like the people that are reviewing these things, how long have they had them and that kind of thing, and that is a factor because there is a limited amount of time that I'm going to have the Helios for maybe 2 weeks.
Or just keep it.
I'm just going to keep it. Actually, sorry, guys.
Just keep it.
Helios 2 were canceled. It's now mine.
Keep it. What are they going to do? Like the shady Singapore?
Fight me. Let's do this.
Yeah, fight him. Fight. What are you going to do, bro? What are you going to do? Come fight. You just punch all those shady Singaporeans. Just keep their eye in, bro. Yeah, what are you gonna do? And you know what they also did? They threatened your wife. They called your wife, make your wife feel very uncomfortable. So you're keeping their IEM.
Oh, cheese and rice. Okay, I'm not going there. But but no joke. I think I only have so much time with these things, and so there is that. I don't have a long term unless they're ZMFs because I have multiple ZMFs that I've had for long term or I've had vocals for long term. But that's a factor, right? You want to be able to factor those into play. And so Jinsei is actually kind of going deep here. Let's see. Aren't demo impressions not the most accurate compared to long-term use? Yeah, they aren't. They're not. I don't think they are. There's no way around that. But in a demo store is a shorter than even having. So there's that too. If you're listening to someone's impressions and they literally just put them on their head for 5 minutes and they're like, "Yeah, these are garbage," and then walked away. That's to me is kind of insane.
Okay,
but
let me tell you my ADX 5000 story, which he loves to get it out of me, right? So this
I do love this. It's amazing.
This will be the last story I will tell. It won't be the end of the stream.
Last story.
Okay, and then I like to speak last, so there you go. It's gonna be like a 5-hour story. So see you guys tomorrow morning. So I used to travel. I used to be able to travel. When I was in, but now that I'm not, that's why I'm doing this show with people because I have to talk to peasants. When I'm bored, I'm just kidding. I love talking to Tyler. Tyler's a great company. But I was in Japan when the ADX 5000 launched. And before that, my first pair of headphones, which I still have on my head right now, is the AD2000, the original, not the X. Mm-hmm. So I bought that as my first pair of headphones, and I still use that to this day. So when I went to Japan, when that launched in Japan, I was there. I just happened to be there, and I was like, "Oh, it happened." and there had sat in front of me, literally the same setup I would be dream of. It's the RME ADI2 Pro into the HPA4 into the ADX 5000. Okay, the best thing you can ever buy with your money, by the way, in terms of headphone. And you know what they have next to it is the 800S. just for the Japanese to prove a point. Just for the Japanese
that's very Japanese.
Right. Just for the I was in Japan. I was in e-earphones. Just for the fucking Japanese to prove a point. They literally said we made a better HD 800. They have the same setup. They have it right here. ADX 5000 and the 800S next to each other onto the same back and amp. And I tried that thing for 4 hours when I tried it. And I was like, wow, this is the fucking literally a uncut 800. When I went to China after my Japan trip, I told my Chinese dealer, hey, you know this ADX 5000? Yeah, it just released. I was like, you need to get it. He's like, why? I'm like, oh, you're gonna love it. He got it in, and every day I went to the store, I tried the ADX 5000. I am so, the only reason okay. If I were to have headphones, I would have 2 headphones. Both Japanese, by the way, because I'm a fucking weeaboo. For regular neutral listening is the ADX 5000. And for the fun one is the TH909. That
TH909.
That headphone is cucked. That headphone is fucked up. That headphone is fucked up. But it's so much fun.
It's fun. It is super. You're right. It is super fun.
Both off the same setup. I feel like those two are either they fulfill 100% of the genre out there. So why do I love the ADX 5000? It's the best headphone that I will ever have. I will never have. You know why? Can I turn this?
Yeah, let's do this.
Can I turn this? So this is why. So this is why I really don't have the ADX 5000. Is because I really have no use for headphones anymore. I have fucking speakers. That's
I'll make everyone sick.
That's what I replaced them with. So no,
Same.
Nice kef, bro. Is it pronounced KEF or kef?
I say kef.
I say kef too.
Is that right?
I would put my camera down there, but I wouldn't be able to show my subwoofer. No, I don't think I would ever have it because like there's no point for me anymore. Just because like I know I need to buy the HPA4, which is very expensive, which I don't want. Like I'm very tempted to buy a HPA4 just so I can have it, but like there's no reason for me anymore to like have headphones. I have the headphones to do. I have the headphones for you, Tyler, just so I can do the show with you. Love you too, baby.
I was actually talking to some other people about this, and honestly, if I wasn't doing the YouTube thing, if I wasn't doing the audio thing, I would probably have my ECPT4, my TT2, my ZMFs, and my Focal Stellias. I'd probably maybe even get a Utopia, and I'd be done. And I'd have a very nice, clean setup.
That's way too many
with my
things. That's way too many things.
But I'd have a couple things. So I like spice, dude. I like a little bit of variety.
Flat, linear.
But my desk would not be a mess. Like my desk is a mess, dude. Like I have crap everywhere. Even for editing, I have like random editing gear. I have random amazing headphones that everyone should want because they're the best. And eventually maybe some of these things, but yeah, like there's that factor, right? Like where if I wasn't in the space that I was in, what would I actually have, kind of thing. And honestly, I would say my ECPT4, which is really you can't get right now, which sucks because it's a fantastic tube hybrid.
Do you know why they have hybrid amps?
I mean, I like it, so I don't care.
Do you know why hybrid?
I mean, I like it. Huh?
Because tube is inherently cucked, and you want to have hybrid, so the SSD makes up for the uncuckedness of hybrid.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like the ECPT4, like
the only thing
I have yet to give you something better than this.
When you have a hybrid amp, you might as well have a solid state amp. And he takes a big sip of whiskey, right?
That's the TT2. That's the TT2. Well, if I want distortion at the end of the day. But the TT2 does everything. I have the Fonder XE. I have the Sony ZH1ES here. I think... What else do I have?
The only amp you need is HPA4, and if you have any other amp, then don't be poor. I believe in measurement. Well, measurement. Linearity. You know? I believe if things don't sound good out of...
I like distortion.
Sure. Okay. Just answer some... I am hoping for Anthony to get the ADX 5000 in so we can do a ADX 5000 podcast. So I can talk about the ADX 5000. Maybe you can get it in and we can all talk about it and just to talk about...
I'll ask Taryn. Yeah,
you both should ask Taryn and we'll do a big podcast. It will be free. They don't have to sponsor the show. I will tell them they should all buy it from headphones. No, because I honestly think it's the best headphone anybody have ever made. And I'm glad that Taryn pulled his fucking head out of his asshole. I can say that because he's in fucking California right now. Taryn decided to pull his head out of his asshole and carry that fucking headphone. I don't
think that was a factor. I think
a factor. I'm just saying,
letting them have it.
No, every time I ask him, why don't you guys have the best headphone in the world? It's like, well, people just don't like the headphone. I'm like, no, people are just stupid. That's not your problem. That's their problem. No, okay, so when you guys get that thing in, we'll have a hour-long or 2-hour-long discussion on why the ADX 5000 is the best headphone ever. And if you want to question how much shit I have tested on the ADX 5000, I have any combination under the sun, I have done it before. And I'm sure you not. The 300 ohm resistance is there for a reason, that it sounds consistent across most things.
I will say,
do not put a tube amp in there. Because you're
I'm gonna put a tube amp.
No, it's warm enough.
Totally put a tube amp. Putting a tube amp on there.
No, that is awful. Mm-hmm. Tube amps are for boomers. Okay. Anything else you want to say? We're at the end of our discussion. Is there anything you want to closing out?
I think closing out. This was fun. I missed hanging out with you, Rush.
Everybody says that.
Glad you're out of retirement.
I'm
glad you're out of retirement.
I miss me too.
You definitely. Hopefully, I'm not canceled.
That's my strategy all along. Just do a podcast with you and have you cancel, so I take over all of your audience.
Just cancel. But no. At the end of the day, I think that everyone has their unique flavor and taste that they like, and they're gonna find it, and you're gonna go with that route, right? That's the nature of humanity. That being said, I think Rush, you and I probably are aligning somewhat more often than not.
Not really, no.
But not really, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I honestly, this is fun. I enjoy it. It's a blast. I probably drank way too much freaking scotch. I'm pretty sure this bottle's almost done now. Yeah, it's almost done.
We're about the same level, I think. I don't think we started at the same level though. I think I
was about half.
We're about the same level. We're about the same level.
Yeah, about the same level. So that was about half. So you drive me to drink, Rush. I love you.
No problem.
You drive me to drink.
So now it's my spirit. Okay.
I drank a beer in the middle of all that. I had a nice Elysian Night Owl throughout the whole thing.
You had a beer for your chaser.
Yeah, I was doing the beer and whiskey thing.
That's quite nice. I can't do that on the tour. Okay, so here's my spiel, right? Okay. So if you're from Tyler side of the audience, right? I am just like Tyler. So since he's canceled because he doesn't like French and the Chinese, please come watch my show, where I am just the nicest person, the nicest. Okay, the whiskey really brings the worst out of me. Okay, if I don't drink,
well balanced.
I am like a good glass of Johnny Walker Blue, the most mellow mixed whiskey that you will ever buy, overpriced and uncharacteristic. I am the Johnny Walker Blue of whiskey. I'm just kidding.
Uncharacteristic. That's a blatant lie. I'm gonna call you out.
Okay, so it's either my way or the highway. If you buy Susvara, you're fucking retarded. The only way to have a headphone is the RME ADI2 Pro into a HPA4 into a ADX 5000. If you don't have that exact setup, then you're just fucking wrong, okay? There's a right way, and there's a wrong way, okay? And there's the rush way.
And there's the rush way.
And then there's the rush way, okay? And my way or the highway, okay? That's how things go. And I hope down the line, no promises, right? My podcast with Tyler, well, not podcast. We have a second episode with Tyler talking about how he reviews stuff.
We'll do it. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll grab Ant. We'll do Ant. We'll do an Ant. How we review. Maybe we can get Andrew Result. We can do like a precog, and we'll do.
You know I don't like him, right? You know I don't like him, right? You know I don't like him, right?
You love him.
No, you know I have him blocked on him. Okay, how about this? I have him blocked on.
You block everybody though. Like,
but no.
Like,
you know what? I came out of retirement.
And to block everybody.
No. I came out of retirement. I look at my block list. I say, why did I block these people again? I don't. I don't remember. But I remember they probably say something very stupid in the past, and I'm just like, oh, I'm not having any of this shit. Oh, so precog, the one who shall not be named. So do I hate him?
No, you don't hate.
I don't remember.
Honestly, I don't think you hate anybody. I don't think you hate anybody.
I remember. I find him annoying. At this point, I don't remember why, and I'm just gonna keep it that way. I think that's gonna be the thing.
I like to call it the ANGTFT. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, no, like I think if we were ever gonna have a conversation, it's like remember, like let me tell you how much I hate you conversation, right? I never want to have that conversation. Okay.
Let me tell you how much I hate your conversation.
Okay. This will be the last topic I will ever have, since it's like a rush comeback episode.
Mm-hmm.
When I yell at Anthony for 45 minutes in that podcast and tell him why he's stupid.
He's not stupid. Let that dude.
Okay, let's be like I'm not
very smart. Let's be real.
I'm not gonna raise my tone here. I'm gonna be okay. Let's be 100% serious, Rush. Okay.
Okay, serious.
I'm not again. When Anthony got the mess, like the whole drama that we happened in AD and why I left the podcast, why I took a 1.5-year break, is because Anthony got the mess for free, and I'm not very happy with that. And if anybody wants to know my whole explanation for that, they can go watch the podcast. I was very angry. At Anthony. I literally was on a podcast with Tyler and Anthony. I was literally yelling at Anthony for 45 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that I'm right, and I'm not gonna say that I'm wrong. I'm gonna say it happened. I'm saying that at that point, I realized I went back and watched how angry I was at Anthony, and I think to myself, I consider him a friend that I have never met, and I really should not yell. I can be angry at the Mest. I can be angry at the Susvara. I can be angry at Hi-Fi Man, but I cannot be angry at Anthony. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the line.
Ants, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Ants, dude. Yeah.
Right. And he's a great guy, right? I can be mad at the gear that he has, but I can never be mad at him. So when at that time I was angry at him, and that was wrong, and I was like, wow, this is getting way too much, and I need to not do that anymore.
Oh, and because dude, honestly, at the end of the day, dude, Ant's a good dude, man. That dude's like honestly one of my favorite people, and I go to him all the time. Where I'll be like, hey, am I weird in this? Like, am I taking this wrong? Like, he's one of my check and balances, if that makes sense.
All right, serious time over. No, he's a fucking retard who buys the most ridiculous audio gear, and he's a fucking piece of show reviewer. If you ever listen to that fucking asshole ever again, oh, fuck that guy. Why would you, like, okay, preferences aside, his preference is just wrong. I don't know how you can have a wrong opinion in this stage of the world. It's just my opinion, bro. Nah, bro. That guy literally had the worst audio opinion. He knows nothing.
You can't even keep it. You couldn't even keep it. You couldn't even maintain. Game over. No, but Ant's fucking. He's awesome.
No,
I
just don't want to be angry at him. I think I was angry at him for like a time, and that's why I don't want to be angry at him anymore. I can be angry at Susvara, but I don't think I can be angry at him. Because he's not Susvara, right?
He's not Susvara, and honestly, dude, Ant's one of the nicest, sweetest people I've ever met in my life. So like, you can't be. And it's rare to find people like that in the world.
No, Tyler, that's just you, bro. That's just you. You just like anybody. That's your problem. No. That's a character problem of you. You don't like. Okay. This is a bad idea. Like getting on a podcast with me is like the worst idea.
I'm sure I'm gonna get canceled, but like, who cares though, man? At the end of the day, like, if I can't maintain my, if I can't deal with you, there's no point in trying to be on the internet. Let's be real.
You mean if you can't like control your hatred and your racism towards Asians, that you shouldn't like. Isn't this show? This is the show. Like isn't this?
My daughter's Asian, dude. My daughter's Asian. It's real here. Come on.
Hey, don't bring your daughter into this. That's not fair.
That's not fair.
Don't bring the wives. My wife's Japanese too. Hey. Okay.
That's bullcrap. But yeah, like that's real.
Okay, I like to have the last words. So serious last words. So since we always like to plan things, hopefully you and Anthony will get. So if anybody likes to watch Tyler, go watch it on his YouTube channel, which is massively successful, because he does not have opinion one way or the other, because he's not a very controversial guy. So this is why I like to talk to Tyler, because somehow that you are not very controversial and you like everything and I hate everything and somehow we agree on things. Okay, so let's just if you ever get anything out of this fucking podcast, okay, if somehow the person who likes everything and somehow the person who hates everything hates the Susvara is a bad headphone, okay? We don't really agree on a lot of things, but you know, when we agree on this one thing, it really is an awful headphone. Okay, so, but no, for a very different perspective, please go watch. If Tyler loves everything in the world, including me, which is why I do this podcast with him, because he loves me.
I do.
He loves me as much as I love myself. Please go watch Tyler.
I'm trying to see if Symphonium, if they'll do a Rush anime like Kren did. I want a Rush version.
Have you ever watched? Did you? I know you don't watch my podcast because it's angry.
I've watched it a little bit here and there.
Did you watch Ken's leak for Symphonium?
No, I did not. Is that the season? Is that episode 2 or episode 1?
Yes. Yeah, episode
2. I'm only like 5-10 minutes into episode 2 so far.
So don't go watch that. So the only thing you need to know that they have 2 more IEMs coming out.
Okay, fair enough.
One is gonna cost $4,500.
They should send it to me for free so I can shill it.
Well, I'm sure you'll get it because I think
Ant will get it, and then I'll be able to listen to it.
I feel like that run that it's not gonna be like a Helios that anybody can demo, like to request a demo tour. It's gonna be like within a very close-knit group. Not because that they don't trust people, just because it's $4,500.
That's a lot of money. Let's be real. That's a lot of money. Maybe
like you know.
Dude, I just did the Empyrean tour, and that thing came back destroyed.
Right. So like, I get it. If you want to flush your Helios down the drain, it's only $1,000, right? But if you want to send a $4,500 IEM around, I think it's gonna be a bit more limited tour. They do have another IEM coming out, which is a lot more palatable. It's $1,800 American. So they do have 2 IEMs coming up. They may or may not be pink. They're not pink. They're not pink. But I think
they should be purple. They should be purple.
Hey,
I agree.
You know
they
what? You know
be
what?
pink.
If you want to pay $6,000 for it for purple one, I'm sure they'll happy to. Maybe podcast.
And I need a rush. I need a rush engraving though. I need
my face. Do you want? I
need a Kren level rush though. Like I want a Moondrop
like an anime
rush.
drawing. Yeah.
Anime rush, but
nice.
Girl version.
Nice. Girl version.
AKA normal version rush.
Normal version.
But,
with hair.
I want hair down Rush
You
with
want
the
hair down
glasses,
Rush?
the headphones. I want 85. I want the 85s on the head with the hair. Yeah, let's do this.
Is that hair down Rush enough for you? Okay. So
Stop
now.
it, dude! I can only get so hard.
Whoa! Your wife watches your podcast, by the way. She's not gonna be very happy with that. So maybe it happens. Maybe we can get like next episode. I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah, let me know. I'm down.
You and Anthony can talk about how you guys review things, and I can
That'd be
criticize
fun.
them. How
And you could slam us for our idiotic ways of
I don't think so.
critiquing everything.
I honestly feel like you and Anthony, without going into too much about next week's podcast or next week's podcast, I feel like you and Anthony have a very correct way of doing things. Be not efficient, but it's correct. All right, I'll just put it at that. Okay.
I mean, I trust Ant more than any other IEM reviewer. I'm going to say that right now. And so when he says something, like someone actually called me out for this actually, and one of the things like, well, have you heard that? I'm like, no, I haven't, but I know Ant has, and then he liked it, and if he likes it, then I know that it's going to be pretty. From my experience, he has yet to steer me wrong. Does that make sense?
I don't trust Anthony because he's a fucking boomer.
We're the same age. Ant and I are the same age.
Yeah,
practically.
no, both of you are fucking boomers. But he's only like fucking 60 years older than I am, dude. But like that's the funny part. Maybe the ADX 5000 podcast depends on how terrible.
If we can make that happen,
I would love to. I would love you to hear it and you to sell everything else and just have that headphone for the rest of your life.
and just have it be done.
Yeah,
be game over.
Yeah.
That and my wonderful Helios that I'll eventually buy.
Oh, of course. No. You don't buy the Helios. You buy the next IEM, the 4,500.
The next Helios, the 4.5.
Yeah,
those are
the nickname TRKR.
TRK. It better be named the Eclectic. There we go. Then I'll show it like nobody's tomorrow. No, but jokes aside, like no joke. Like that's I do think that that'd be a fun podcast. That'd be a fun way to kind of see things and view. Like how perspective of different reviewers, because Ant measures things as well, so that comes into play where I do not measure things as well. So that could be a fun kind of play on things.
Yeah. All right. How do we do the ending thing?
I need to go take a bathroom break. So soon.
No. We're gonna end now. Let's just say okay.
All right. Thanks for joining. And hopefully you come into the next one, and we will talk about whatever you guys talk about. And whenever I come back, maybe the Android one. Yeah.
Way better than the last Asian that you drank with.
Who did I?
That's Sebastian from Iffy.
Oh yeah, Seb.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I don't think. Dude, I don't think.
I ended the stream. Ah.